things right now. I'm a big believer in karma, and after what happened a couple weeks ago, I stayed really positive, knowing big things were coming. I didn't know what was going to be, but I knew we're coming to a special place. I know I got my breakthrough win here, and it's a very special place for my family. And the fact that my parents were able to come, I got out of COVID protocol early. I just felt like the stars were aligning. I just don't know how to explain it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. Hope everyone had a fantastic Father's Day weekend. Got a good chunk of stuff to talk about this morning. College World Series happening. I know some of you were locked in. I know some of you glanced at it. I know some of you have seen the scores. But an entertaining weekend for college baseball, particularly in the Arizona-Vanderbilt game that went to 12 innings where the Commodores ended it in a walk-off. You heard John Rahm talk about his U.S. victory, U.S. Open victory at the top of our Open. That was a pretty stellar moment considering 2 weeks ago he was removed from the Memorial Golf Tournament with COVID protocol being a part of that. And then also, I know the term 5-second rule resonates with many of you. I want to know who abides by it, who doesn't follow it, and that'll be kind of our food topic of the morning. But we'll start kind of with Father's Day weekend. We'll start with your fish.
Yeah, I had a good Father's Day weekend. If you follow on Facebook, you see there is no place in the world. You can offer me a trip to anywhere in the world. I'm not going to be anywhere Father's Day weekend than the North Fork River. It was my dad's special place. It's my special place, and I was blessed on Saturday. First fish of the day before 8:30. Really, really nice brown trout. Probably 9 to 10 pound range, somewhere in there. It'll grow as the show goes on. It'll get bigger, but it was
as it should.
If you want to go to my Facebook page, you can see a picture. It was one of those fish of a lifetime, and one even Clay was proud of. He even called me about it. So that was my Father's Day gift. Nothing could really top that other than my mom's chicken spaghetti last night. So I had a nice weekend.
I was at Harry Robinson on Saturday, and Mike was like, "Hey, did you see the fish Tommy caught?" And I was like, "No." And
the only one I've ever seen out of that river that I've seen. There's been bigger ones. Mm-hmm. I mean, this isn't a state or world record, but I mean, this is a 1 in 10,000 type fish. Mike Hessen caught a brown, a male brown up there. That rivals.
Is that the one in
his
office?
The one is. But this one's got much different color. The color to this one is just that's what sets this fish apart is the color of it.
I know we had some listeners.
I'll tweet it out here in a little bit.
We had some listeners like our friend Greg in Fort Smith who attended. We did some stuff with Wheels Over Bryan. I know that was a lot of fun for some of our listeners that went down there this week, and my dad was asking me about it. I actually surprised my dad, so I had to work on Friday and Saturday, so I didn't come down on Friday, but I actually surprised my dad on Saturday, and he didn't know I was coming. I told my stepmom, it's like, hey, I'm going to come down and go to church and do all just the typical Father's Day stuff.
Good for you.
So we did that, and I took him out to dinner on Saturday night. We went to the Buffalo Grill in Little Rock, and I got a foot-long chili dog the size of my head.
I saw that on Twitter.
That's what I get. I've gotten that since I was about 5 years old. Every stinking time, a foot-long chili dog from Buffalo Grill. But it was a good weekend. We just kind of chilled, relaxed, and typical watch sports with that. It was very, very, very chill weekend that I think a lot of our listeners can resonate with this morning.
Yeah, hopefully everyone had a good weekend of family and friends. Weather wasn't terribly hot. I mean, it was warm, but it wasn't terribly hot, and just always a great part of summer is Father's Day. Father's Day, 4th of July, I guess Memorial Day kind of kicks things off, but I'm going to tell you, to be able to get out and do whatever it is you want to do, whether it's golf with your dad, whether it's fish, whether go to the lake, whether it's just grill something, you got to go have a great meal, go to church. whatever your agenda was, it was awesome out there. So hopefully everyone had a great Father's Day weekend.
My dad doesn't golf. He doesn't drink like a heathen like myself. So we have bonded over sports over the years.
Yeah.
And he's, I wouldn't say an avid NBA fan, but we watched a little bit of that. Doesn't really watch golf, but typically it's college sports. And Kyle, we watched a little bit of the College World Series. I know that we're going to talk about that more extensively coming up. The best game of the weekend had to be Vanderbilt and Arizona the way it concluded. And
that one last night was pretty good too.
Yeah, my dad
liked pitching.
My dad was joking because we get sit down at the restaurant and it's 3-0 in the first, and my dad goes, "Rocker's getting rocked," and I was chuckling at that. But Vanderbilt ended up finding a way to win. They just have so many weapons. That baseball team under Tim Corbett, elevated by the fact that they can do certain things with their scholarship stuff being a private school, but all across the board they have hitter after hitter, and Arizona gave them all they could handle, but ultimately Vanderbilt came out the victor. Now I've seen some Arkansas fans that have paid attention pretty tightly to what's happened so far, and then others have been on the fence. Now some Arkansas fans were actually still made the trip to Omaha. You saw pictures, you saw videos on ESPN, and that's just kind of the situation you're in right now.
That's a bucket list event. So if you were able to score some tickets, you were, however you came about them, it's still, whether your team's in it or not, Omaha and the College World Series is still an event you want to go to if you've never been. So, I mean, it's better when your team is there. But I know there are LSU fans, particularly with their run in the heyday with Skip Bertman. They win every year at Rosenblatt, regardless if LSU was in it. Now, they were in it a lot. But, LSU fans had basically season tickets, if you will, annual tickets, and they just go. So I get it. I mean, it's it's a cool event to go to. It's a better event when your team's there.
Mm-hmm. And I've been there once in 2015 where they went 0-2 in barbecue. Didn't go in 2018 or 2019, and hopefully, assuming Arkansas baseball continues on the track it is under Dave Van Horn, they'll be back, and I'll get to attend and hopefully go for an elongated trip. I'm wondering, when I watched NC State do what they did to Stanford in their first game, should Arkansas fans cheer for the Wolfpack to make their loss look better? Like, I'm trying to figure out how I feel about NC State having success in Omaha.
I think the further they go, the better it makes you probably feel. I don't know if it makes you look better at this point. Arkansas looks pretty good, even though they're not in the College World Series. But, yeah, I think it probably soothes your wounds a little bit. It probably makes you heal a little faster if they made a run to the championship round or whatever. So, yeah, I could get on board with some of that. I didn't really have anyone I was rooting for. I had a few teams I was rooting against this weekend.
Tennessee, Texas
and Texas being chief amongst them. I guess I want to see Vanderbilt win because that's who I've kind of picked. I'm not really we're obviously not Vanderbilt fans, but I think they're the best team up there
I think now. You and I are in agreement on that. I kind of would like to see NC State win, and I think you kind of worded it better. Not necessarily look Arkansas better, but you feel a little more justified in the loss if they ended up winning the whole thing.
No, absolutely.
You'd still. I mean, you're still left wanting. You still wish the Arkansas Razorbacks were playing in Omaha, but in my opinion, it's a little validated.
Yeah, there you go. That was the word I was getting ready to use. Validate. It would be validation
if they win the whole thing. Yep. But it's a long way to go. We know this is a 2-week process, but College World Series happening on ESPN. Some good games so far this weekend.
So Texas and Tennessee lost. So that's the headline so far from the weekend. All right, a lot to get to. Wrapping up a Father's Day weekend and the U.S. Open, College World Series, whatever you want to talk about, you can call or text the hotline 877-377-6963. Hot Take Monday, always brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone Alliance. See Lee, Jay, Chris, the whole crew. They're going to give you a great price, a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. A great experience every time. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Coming up, we'll talk about how the U.S. Open concluded yesterday. Jon Rahm, the Spaniard, gets it done. 2 clutch birdies on 17 and 18 to oust Louis Oosthuizen. We'll talk about that next on the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Shangri-La Resort. They're going on their 65th year, giving you some of the memories you treasure to this day. Take it from me, I grew up going there. The Carrs are going on their 3rd generation of taking care of you. Mama Carr makes the best pie in all of Arkansas, and they wake up at 3 in the morning just to start making them. Check them out online at ShangriLaResort.net and check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for some of the best scenery in the natural state. Shangri-La Resort, a touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Whoo! Hi, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith is your source this summer for backyard fun. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better way to enjoy family and friends than with your own above-ground pool this summer from Burton Pools and Spas. And they're on sale this month, starting at just $19.99. Come on by Burton's, pick them up, take them home, and save a bundle on above-ground pools. Don't miss this opportunity to make the backyard of your dreams a reality. They've got a limited supply available right now. Ask about the full line of Doughboy above-ground pools, the best pool on the market, built to last for years of enjoyment by you and your family. Check out Doughboy above-ground pools right now and save big at Burton Pools and Spas. They're on 0 Street in Fort Smith and just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale. And you can always see Burton's full lineup online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron and a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to throw a receiver screen to Tyson Morris. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas, and the Razorbacks are right back in it.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
So John Rahm gets it done on both 17 and 18. Sitting in the clubhouse, finds out he's the U.S. Open champion. What a spectacular photo finish, and we'll talk about that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, you need great TV. This is a weekend where if you were out on the lake or the river, like I was, or if you just were watching golf, you couldn't watch baseball maybe at the same time. Great way to do that is with the Hopper system from Dish and World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number to call Ben and his crew. They can have you installed before this next weekend. 2-year price guarantee is what you get, a low price. Plus, you get the Dish Anywhere app, a free $350 Google Nest security camera with facial recognition that comes along with that. So a lot of cool stuff, cool extras, free installation, voice-activated remotes, and you get that 2-year price guarantee. As I mentioned at the top, it's worth mentioning twice. That way you can record the baseball game while you're watching golf, or if you're watching your favorite movie or something on Netflix, which is also integrated there, you can still record up to 17 shows at once. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
We'll play the audio first. Here is John Rahm and how the birdie sounded on 18.
Another one is landed at the 72nd hole, this time for Rahm to take the lead in the U.S. Open. That's a goosebump moment.
It's a pretty lengthy birdie putt.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. It kind of reminded me of Phil Mickelson at the Masters. Probably closer to 10 years ago, whatever year that was.
Mm-hmm.
And where he jumped in the air and that ball kind of just curved and went in. Yeah, not only a lengthy, probably 20. 23, 24 feet, whatever it was, but it had some pretty good break to it. So those are the things that happen when you're destined to win. We're talking about Carmen, believing in Carmen and John Rahm and what happened at the Memorial a few weeks ago. I heard even more of the backstory on that I didn't know this weekend with how many negative tests he had. So maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later before the one positive. So what a awesome finish. Birdie 17. 18 had been a birdie hole all weekend. I mean, it's a par 5. It had played like 100 under par for the field. When
Can
the rest
we birdie it?
From the right tees, yeah, probably.
The women's tees.
Yeah, maybe 50 yards in front of that, yeah, maybe. But statistically, that hole compared to the rest of the course had played well under par in comparison to the other 17 holes. So it's designed and set up for a great finish, but he put himself in a position to make just a one of those all-time putts that, when you see highlights and they show Tiger Woods with a fist pump and following it in and pointing the finger at Valhalla. You see Phil jumping for joy on the green at 8. This is going to be one of those moments they show in the montage of great golf moments of the last 25 years.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think on the hole before on 17, he had a pretty wayward drive. He didn't have a great drive on 17.
I don't know. It's the pressure of the moment is what it is. And Azinger kept talking about this on the, you find, he's talking about you got the entourage of sports psychologists and nutritionists and fitness people and all, but only you can hit that golf ball in the middle of the fairway or out of the rough or off that tee box or wherever it's at. And the pressure of the moment was just too big for so many yesterday. That was the thing is we watched Koepka. We watched DeChambeau, who put himself in contention and in the lead. Louis Oosthuizen, McIlroy, household names if you follow golf, all go by the wayside with wayward tee shots and mistake after mistake. It was It was John Rahm. When you birdie 17 and 18 in a major, and you're at the top of the leaderboard, that is hard for the rest of the field to overcome.
Yeah, and you mentioned DeChambeau. He kind of fell apart of the back nine. Brooks Koepka ended up finishing in the top 5. We brought up Phil earlier. He was plus 11 on the day. But what stood out to me as well is, like, you talk about the finish. So on Sunday, there were 13 players within 4 shots of the lead, and really Rahm was the one guy, the singular guy that was clutch down the stretch, specifically on 17 and 18.
I thought when Louis Oosthuizen had the lead, he was at 5 under. The rest of before Rahm kind of made that charge down the stretch. This was, I mean, it was obviously Oosthuizen's tournament to lose. But I mean,
tell the stat again that you told before the show about Louis.
Louis Oosthuizen, he has the career Grand Slam and second place finishes. He's finished second in every major. Now he has won one. He won the Open Championship 10 or 11 years ago. It's 2010 or 2011. He won the Open Championship.
South African, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so he does have a major to his credit, but it would have been one of the longest stretches ever between majors had he been able to win. There was a graphic on that during the broadcast. So he was playing awfully well. But again, they call them majors for a reason. These are big moments. The world tunes in 4 times a year, maybe 5, and you find out who's got it.
Who's got it worth their salt, man? That is.
Well, I mean, it's mentally challenging, isn't it? You put your swing under pressure, and some guys got it and some guys don't.
So Louis is the equivalent of the '90s Buffalo Bills, or was it the '80s with like Jim Kelly, 4 straight Super Bowls, 4 straight losses. Because you get second place every single time. I'm trying to think of like a basketball or baseball equivalent to coming in second place over and over and over.
But let me put a little context to that. Jack Nicklaus, the all-time great, right?
How many times did he finish? Like 39?
He finished second in majors like 20 times to pull that. But he has more second-place finish in majors than he does wins. So I mean, that stat. It's heartbreaking if you're in Oosthuizen's camp, how close you've been, but it makes you wonder, am I ever going to break over and win a few more of these? Because one major's great. The list from people that have won 1 versus 2, 3, and 4, that narrows down quickly. People want to say what they say about John Daly. He's on a very short list of people that have won 2 different majors in his career.
All right, so I said Bills for football.
Yep.
I'll go Utah Jazz, 97, 98, falling to Michael Jordan, and then I'll go baseball, Texas Rangers, and losing to the Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. Yeah, I think that's right.
But second place still paid
good chunk of money.
$1.4 million, so I think you can probably live with that.
Yeah.
So.
You take the money and run, and that's exactly what Louis probably did over the weekend.
All right, Hot Take Monday here on the Morning Rush. It's brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. They are now renting motorized and towable RVs. So if you want to take a motorhome with you on a great road trip this summer, or you want to take a fifth wheel with you to a tailgate this fall, they can rent those to you as well. Or maybe you want to figure out if this whole camping lifestyle is for you and your family, or you want to upgrade. Hey, whatever your situation, Wheels has them for you. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
All right, coming into the program, we will get into some quick-hitting headlines, some College World Series to talk about this weekend, and Kevin Kopps wins the Dick Hauser Trophy. Big-time award for Kevin Kopps. That's next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's finally here, and with a great deal on a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, and more, you can celebrate all of your favorite summer holidays, like Memorial Day, Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, Father's Day.
You're doing great, Jan.
Thanks, Dad. Love you. International Pizza Party Day. Pepperoni, please. And by pepperoni, I mean Hawaiian. Let's keep this between us, though. I have relatives in Boston. I'll take another slice of pepperoni, please. But hold the pepperoni. Let's go ahead and add ham and pineapple. Thanks.
Toyota, let's go places.
Get $750 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a 2021 Highlander L for $309 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N6 121.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria has lunch specials. Every day, you can get a small pizza for $6, a side salad for $4, a chef salad for $7, or a single slice for $3. Their $10 combos include a small pizza, side salad, and a drink, or a single slice chef salad and a drink. Every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday. 10 wings for just $5.95. Call Papa's Pub at 479-783-9941 or check them out online at papaspub.com. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
I chose Ashley Air just because I've always wanted to work for the best. I asked a lot of folks at my church who the best heat and air company is, and 90% of the people I talked to said Ashley was the best. So I wanted to work for the best.
Great things are happening at Ashley Air. We're looking for skilled service and installation technicians for our Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations. We're willing to pay the right person up to $5,000 in hiring bonuses. To apply online, visit our website at ashley.air.com.
AshleyAir.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Frank's going to throw into the end zone. Got a man. He's there. It's caught. Did he keep his feet down? He did. Touchdown, Arkansas. Touchdown, Arkansas. Traylon Burks. And the Hawks are on the board.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
If we lose tonight, this will be the last call you hear on this program. I'll probably be dead. Now, if I live through it, I'll call back.
So Kevin Kopps wins the Dick Hauser Trophy and the Stopper of the Year over the weekend. Big-time awards expected. He's also a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award as well, and we'll get to that coming up here. It's the Dick Hauser Trophy and the Golden Spikes Award. I want to make sure I'm saying that right.
Both big awards. Yeah. I mean, I think the Golden Spikes is bigger, but I guess it depends on who you ask. But from all accounts, the Golden Spikes is the more noteworthy, but both are huge individual awards in college baseball. So, all right, brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They are looking to add to their team now for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have your CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to be home at nights, work with a great company that offers great pay, benefits, a team environment that has growth opportunities for you. Hey, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
I've heard Kevin say this multiple times on multiple different platforms when talking about how he struggled this past season, and he had a conversation with Matt Hobbs, the pitching coach of the U of A. Do you want me to come back? And Coach Hobbs was like, of course we want you to come back. I mean, he ends up going from that situation to winning the Heisman Trophy equivalent of college baseball. And some of the guys tell me that have won this award, Buster Posey, longtime San Francisco Giants catcher.
Played at Florida State.
Steven Strasburg, longtime pitcher with the Washington Nationals. Alex Gordon, Kansas City Royals. Mark Teixeira, New York Yankees. Robin Ventura. I mean, there are like a lot of different.
What did all those guys do?
Win and make a lot of money.
Played in the show.
Playing the show. I mean, he had a season where he redshirted in 2016, Tommy John in 2018. His track record, his journey to this point, it's pretty eye-opening in the fact that it wasn't just highly heralded, highly coveted a lot of places. I listened to Tony Vitello talk about just kind of how he and some other coaches not felt like they were suckered, but like he kept emailing them, always alerted, hey, I'm pitching here, I'm pitching that. It's just his background, his story. It's just really compelling to see how far he's come as an Arkansas Razorback.
Yeah, Bo Mattingly did a hog pod with him. It's a great listen that kind of tells his background, and you mentioned the emails and trying to just get people to come watch him, get college scouts and college coaches, rather, to come watch him pitch down in Texas and give him a chance, to come. So absolutely, then for his career to end up kind of having to go as long as it did at Arkansas is completely unique. Of course, nothing's not unique about the COVID year and everything that happened, but for him to find his pitch that was so devastating to so many teams this year, and to see, this wasn't like it was three other years to go along with this that was all similar, and it just kind of mounted to this. It was a journey for him to get to this point. And I think what it is in the end, if you stop and just put it in the simplest terms, if you keep working hard and you believe in yourself and the people around you help build you up, great things can still happen in the end, because he was just another pitcher, good pitcher, but just another pitcher on the staff, and he became the best in the country this year in his final season in Arkansas. It's an incredible story.
We'll talk some more headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush. Do you want to welcome in Rod on I-40? Rod, good morning, man. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday. Well, I suppose it's Monday. I've been driving the last 6 days. So, a word about the season, but first, the 5-second rule, 10 seconds if it's brisket, 15 if it's really good brisket, and I'll fight the lab for it.
I'll with you on brisket.
Yeah, I'll fight my dog for that one.
Of course, I'm extra careful with my brisket so it never gets a chance to hit the floor.
Yeah, you getting these sideboards keep that thing from happening.
Exactly.
But, the regular season, we didn't get to Omaha this year. This is why you root for the regular season, the SEC West, the SEC overall title, the tournament title, because you never know. You're a Razorback. This could end in a split, heartbreaking second. You never know. It's just that close all the time, feels like.
Yeah.
Or just me.
Well, I think that's why, for some, and I can get on board with this. You're rooting. You'd kind of like to see NC State win a few games and validate your departure from this tournament.
I mean, I'd like to see him win. I think you and I both think Vanderbilt's going to do it. But if I'm going to pick a team to cheer for, it would be NC State.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds weird considering they just knocked you out and prevented you from going to Omaha. But again, the word validation is something that you and I both used before the program began.
Yep.
Or earlier this morning. It gives you kind of that. Now, you're never going to be fully validated with this baseball team because they lost. They didn't win at all. But if you want to look at a silver lining, if they win, it's like, okay, well, maybe this team was the team of destiny this year. You can at least feel a little bit better. Not still.
It's not going to remove all the disappointment because you didn't live up to your expectation or your potential. Maybe that's a better word. You didn't. The potential of this team was to at least get to the championship round. I think if we sit back and we're honest with ourselves, we realize that particularly down the stretch, you didn't have enough starting pitching to probably win the national title or to make a deep run to Omaha, but you certainly had enough to get to Omaha. You know, you look at Saturday, those home runs you gave up consecutively. You just look at a few things in the lack of a timely hit. You know, same thing. Tennessee was 0 for 8 yesterday with runners in scoring position. What was it, 6-0 against Virginia? You know, they're going to look back at that. You know, say, I mean, 0 for 8 when you got runners in scoring position. That is not how you advance in the College World Series.
I think Willie in West Memphis, if they go 0-2 in barbecue, is going to be making a call to a Knoxville sports radio station, just kind of rile some people up a little bit. So you had that.
You got to have those timely hits this time of the year. I don't care if you're number 1 or number 51. You better hit it when the guy's at second or third.
Yeah, some of the College World Series headlines is we're watching the Arizona Vanderbilt game with my dad this weekend. He noticed that there's some empty seats, and there was still a good chunk of fans, but he looked at me dead in the eye, and he was serious, and he's like, I think if Arkansas is there, there's not an empty seat at that house. And that was kind of the bummer about this is because I agree. Arkansas right now, they have that shot contest at Rocco's Pizza right next to – Arkansas's winning.
Well,
they are legitimately winning and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's this Jell-O shot contest that they do every year at this pizza place. In Arkansas, when they go down there, they dominate it every single year. Well, Arkansas fans who still made the trip made sure that they're still in first place in that.
You know, these first few days, you got to really search and do your homework to find you a good hotel room, and because you got the Olympic swim trials that are in Omaha, you've got the College World Series. I mean, it gets difficult, and I think a lot of people, particularly if you're with a program like in Arkansas that's been there before, you know, Vanderbilt be a good example right now that's had some success. Maybe, you know, can they win a game or two and then I'll go up? I mean, I've been there those years where it was the Olympic year and the College World Series, and that town is generally just nuts.
It's crazy.
But empty seats, I mean, you see that some of these early games, depending on the teams that are in there and how far they had to travel. Virginia, if you're a Virginia fan, they didn't have an exceptional year this year. They're in the College World Series, so it's going to be an exceptional finish. You wonder, hey, is our team built to do it? They've won the national title before in baseball. I mean, they're a highly successful program.
Is that the team that won in 2015?
I believe in 15, yeah. That mean you look at Arkansas lost to Texas Tech and Miami. I believe they won it in 15 that year. Wasn't it Tech and Miami, or was it Virginia and Miami?
2019 was what you're thinking of, right?
Yeah.
You lost to Texas Tech in 2019.
Okay.
I think 2015 you lost to Virginia.
Virginia and Miami when you went 0-2?
I think so.
I think that's right.
Because I was there for that.
I was too. I'm just trying to remember. I know Miami was one of them, but I think Miami was the second one. But point being, I think this thing will fill up, and there's a lot of Nebraskans that will come out. Is that the right way you say it? Nebraskans? They'll be there for this event.
Mm-hmm.
So, Father's Day weekend, it's just some things. But empty seats at the College World Series early on, they're usually few and far between.
Now, I didn't watch the Mississippi State game last night, but they ended up winning, correct? What was the pitching duel that you were talking about, the game you enjoyed?
Well, I mean, I didn't intently watch Mississippi State last night, but they had 21 strikeouts to 1 walk last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts. I was just looking at. I watched some of that. I watched golf. That game was on at the same time as golf yesterday. But just looking, let me pull that box score back up because it was just incredible how Texas and I ended up 2-1. Wasn't like State just lit up the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was 21 strikeouts between two pitchers for Mississippi State.
Some other headlines to get into this morning. Arkansas's got a 5-star 2022 power forward.
Will Bednar.
Will Bednar. Okay.
He had 15 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Jeez.
Then Sims comes in, strikes out 6. And I was listening to that game on the radio, and he had struck out his first 4. I mean, so Texas just struggled in that game.
So Kajani Wright is the 5-star kid that's coming in from California that's going to be in Fayetteville today. I saw Richard Davenport had that. So hopefully a big-time visit. Hopefully he likes what he sees in Fayetteville, Arkansas with this basketball program. Did you see what Brett Bielema tried to search on Twitter?
I'm glad one of the millennials caught this. I saw Steinmetz pictures or
Photos.
Whatever. I saw the screenshot that was retweeted or whatever. Well, let's be honest. Who amongst us didn't? If we knew how to spell Steinmetz, we'd have done it sooner, right?
But there's a difference between putting that in the search bar and then actually
How do you do that? I mean, that may be. I never really searched for much other than a name. How do you tweet out I couldn't figure out how he did what he did.
I'll tell you how he did what he did. Yeah, it had a thing of Tito's next to him, and
well,
he thought he was searching it, and it ended up typing it
Tito's
in.
Tito's and tweeting doesn't work?
It was removed relatively quickly, but like you said, whoever screen grabbed it and
so he put it in a actual tweet instead of he didn't realize he hadn't hit send.
Correct. He was under the impression that he was searching for it and said he tweeted that out, and someone immediately snagged that up over the weekend.
Yeah,
so
you're right. Probably a little vodka cranberry, about 8 of those.
Yeah.
Or if in my case, either that or I didn't have my reading glasses on when I was doing it.
That too. So,
but I don't think I could have spelled Steinmetz without looking it up.
I'd
have gotten close though.
We'll get to this meat conversation coming up. Also, want to mention the Suns beat the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 1. The Bucks beat the Nets in a thrilling Game 7. Also, another great Game 7. I know we'll talk with Tom Murphy a little bit about his Atlanta Hawks, who ended up coming back and beating the Philadelphia 76ers last night. Trae Young really had a dismal game for the majority of it, and then picked it up down the stretch.
And his Braves beat the Cardinals 1-0 too. So.
Oh wow, he's got the whole thing.
Yeah, he had a good day yesterday.
So, food question for you. We got the brisket in. The 20-pound. It's 18 to 22 pounds. I'm just gonna say it's a 20-pound Wagyu brisket, and I'm excited about this. I sent this to our buddy Travis Arnold with the White Kurt Realtors in Harrison that is part of Trusting the Process, because he's the one that sent me the gift card. So we're really excited. We've pinned on a date. We're going to do it July the 10th, which is that Saturday, because I'm going to be gone the next 2 weekends, so we wanted to do that. So the plan is I've given it to my 3 guys who smoke and grill. What was the paper, the parchment?
No, not parchment. I would get butcher. If I was going to have a $300 Wagyu brisket that I'd laid out some good coin for, I'd go all out. The big boys, when you watch them on TV, and I've never used this, and I'd like to order some and try it sometime, is the peach butcher paper that, after it's gotten the smoke 4 or 5 hours, depending on your temperature, wrap that baby in peach butcher paper.
Peach butcher paper. Okay. All right.
Try that. Maybe if you spent $300 on a piece of meat, you might as well go spend $20 more on some butcher paper.
Okay.
At this point.
I was also very livid when I got home last night to find out that one of my buddies who was taking care of our dog, had gone into our house and eaten my smoked Reuben from Arts that I'd left over the weekend. I opened the fridge. I looked around. I was like, all right, maybe I can't. Maybe
that was the fee.
Maybe I need my reading glasses. I opened it again, and it wasn't there. I texted one buddy who I thought was the likely candidate to do this, because they went floating on Saturday and they left our dogs at our house. And I said, you've got one chance to answer this question. Did you eat my Reuben? And he said, no, but I did have an onion ring. And I was like, all right, I'm still mad at you about that, but I can live. But some SOB came into my house and ate my Reuben. I was livid. But
officer, you call the cops. Officer, nothing was taken or stolen other than my Reuben sandwich.
I was so mad. But
what seems to be missing? Well, the smoked Reuben sandwich.
So you've answered kind of help with the meat, and it's more on my buddies, because I'm not going to be one smoking it. But I had Arts 3 times this weekend, and one of the
you had 3 meals
left over.
Okay.
So
you didn't go there 3 times.
No,
I got you.
No, and so one of the meals in a to-go box I had, the wind was just coming at us on Saturday, and it knocked over my to-go box. And my burger, my fries, they hit the ground. Now, the fries were basically depleted at that point, and it was about 2 seconds. I picked up the burger, picked up the stuff, and put it on my plate. The guys I'm sitting next to said, "You better not eat that." And it was about half, and then the other guys said,
they didn't want you to eat it, so they would eat it.
Yeah. The other half said, "No, go and eat it."
Yeah.
And so my question was, because we always hear the term 5-second rule, right? Is that applicable inside? Is that applicable outside? Is it applicable everywhere? As Rod mentioned, it doesn't
work for soup.
Okay. So what is it?
Doesn't work for gumbo.
What meal is it applicable for?
A
handheld sandwich?
Anything salty, like if you drop something, a chip or a piece of beef jerky, something that's dry and salty, you don't even need it. It's got like a 30-second rule.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, if you drop spaghetti on the floor, you're just throwing that away, right? I mean, it depends on how wet it is, right? But the saltier it is, the less you don't even worry about the 10-second rule.
Okay.
No danger.
All right, so no danger whatsoever. So I was.
And the salt's going to kill anything.
I was okay to eat that burger that had fallen.
I
on
would
the
have
ground.
at least eaten the meat patty. I mean, if the bun falls face down, I mean, I may not want some gravel in my mayo, but I'm not letting one of them.
It was basically on a sidewalk. Is it okay?
Yeah. It's been a hot day. Sun's burned off any bacteria.
B in Clarksville says already chewed gum. So you can't pick that up? Is that what he's saying? Or you can pick that up?
My chewed gum?
I would hope so.
I'm probably just getting, if I have another stick, I'm just getting another stick.
It might be in Oklahoma City where you put your gum there. There's a monument or something. I think it's in Oklahoma City where there's like thousands. I mean, it could be millions at this point, like just old chewed gum. And it's a big wall. It's a big display.
Yeah, I can't recall. I've seen that somewhere. What you're talking about?
I think it's in Oklahoma City.
Somebody will send that in. Drew's got it over here.
You know where it is, Drew?
The gum. What's it called there? The gum wall.
It's the gum wall in downtown Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, yeah. I've seen pictures.
I may never see that in person.
Yeah.
Now here come the text.
Yeah, we've got
Thanks,
a bunch
guys.
of texters
Seattle.
letting us know it's Seattle. So I think that'd be my dad actually was asking me this weekend, Tommy, what's the one? I think you've said this before. Chicago, the city you want to go to?
I haven't been to Chicago. I would like to do a long weekend, fly up on a Thursday, come back Sunday kind of. I've never been to Chicago. I don't know how I've missed that place, but been to New York, been to L.A., never been to Chicago.
Okay, we got Matt texting us in a video of Tom Izzo dropping some popcorn and then picking it up.
Popcorn's got
and eating.
plenty of salt on it.
So it's really from the saltier and the more sodium, the more likelihood you're going to not wait longer to pick it up, but if it's there longer, you'll eat it. Is there anything like...
I'm just trying to build up my immune system.
Okay.
That little floor germ ain't going to bother me.
Yeah. Well, it's like those...
I'm not a germaphobe, though.
It's like those Dr. Dazzles that have been sitting in the fridge since... Was that Christmas party? Not this past year.
Pre-COVID?
Was 2 years ago, maybe? And so it's...
I mean, to me, it's, if you're dropping something on the floor, as long as it's not wet. I'm probably not eating the bun mayo down off the sidewalk. But, But the meat, maybe I'll probably still nibble on that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
And as Rod said, if it's brisket, I'm not going to let the brisket even come in danger of falling off the plate.
You're just gonna keep it. Oh, I'm trying to find something because we got someone texting us in something this morning. I want to make sure.
I made a pork butt this week, and there might have been a piece or two of the good bark that fell on the floor that,
you just ate.
Now, if you got a dog in the house, you just leave that for them,
Yeah.
right? That's just the courtesy, the courteous thing to do.
I had some bird ends last night, and we ran out of dog food for our dog Maggie, and so Maggie was rewarded with some burn ends last night. Now, NCAA Hogville says that you can eat anything that isn't wet or sticky as long as you blow it off first. Saturday, my 1-year-old kept dropping snacks on the ground, and I continually kept blowing them off, and he didn't seem to mind it at all. It's like we ate like dirt as kids. Yeah. You remember that?
Everything we eat grows out of dirt, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
In one way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Oh, it's
dirt don't hurt.
Yeah, it's okay. So we've talked College World Series a little bit this morning. We'll do a little more of that coming up. U.S. Open, John Rahm gets it done. First Spaniard to ever win. And we also, Danny Russellville, I know, was asking about your fish. You got a...
No, I thought he was on hold. He hung up?
He hung up, I thought. But you caught a pretty big brown over the weekend.
It was just a blessed weekend. My dad, we didn't grow up trout fishing. We didn't grow up fishing a lot. We fished some ponds and we'd fish here and there, but we were more golf I'm more of a golf family than a fishing family for sure. We'd go to baseball games, we'd golf a lot. But 2008, I was in my 30s, early 30s then. We ended up with a place on the North Fork River, and all of us fell in love with trout fishing. So my dad left us in 2015, passed away, and I'm just telling you, every Father's Day, there ain't a place on earth I'd rather be than the North Fork River. So fishing Saturday morning with my father-in-law and our guide, Paul Storm, and first fish of the day, just up from the house, 9-pound or so brown, 25 inches long, but this thing was fat, like 17 inches around.
Girth is the word Mike used.
Huge fish. I mean, this fish had been normal size. It'd been 34 or 5 inches. So
Do I get
for me, it was, it wasn't a state record or a world record, anything like that, but it was one of the biggest fish. It was one of the biggest fish I've ever caught, biggest brown I've ever caught, and it felt good. It felt good to have that kind of fish. That's not something you do every year, even or every few years.
You went to Hot Springs and hung out with your dad. Y'all went to Magic Springs. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, we went to Magic
Springs.
How was that? It was actually a lot of fun. Obviously, people thinking, why did your parents, with two kids in their 20s, go to Magic Springs? My brother has an 8-year-old daughter, so they drove over to Hot Springs, and it was a lot of fun. And honestly forgot how fun water slides and roller coasters are.
All right.
They are still extremely enjoyable. Even every water slide I went down was fantastic.
Was it packed?
It was. On Saturday,
last time I went to Magic Springs, like every youth group from every church in the state was there the last time I was there.
Well, Vanilla Ice was performing Saturday.
Oh, well.
I didn't know he still toured.
Wow.
But he was at Magic Springs Saturday night.
Ice baby.
Unaware of that. That's pretty wild. I bet
I was fishing and missed that.
I was going to say, I bet you'll have some fun with Phil on that later.
All right, that's the voice of Drew Barrett. We'll be telling you more about Drew as maybe later in the show. Hear his story, who he is. He's going to be with us here in Every Day Forward, the new SmackDown, the new and improved SmackDown here on the Morning Rush.
So do I get brownie points? I felt like that I was very welcomed by my dad and my stepmom this weekend. It's the only son or daughter that made the trip for Father's Day, and they sent a picture to our family group, said, and this is the only son or daughter that seems to love their dad. So it was a joke than anything. But
there was some seriousness in there.
I was like,
buried.
Listen, I trekked out. I had work on Saturday, and I still came down after that.
Yeah.
Now I will say I have a middle stepsister who's pregnant and has a kid, an older stepsister who has 3 kids, younger. I don't know if she really has an excuse, and then brothers in Dallas. So I have a little closer drive than and I don't necessarily have the kids attached to the hip to me, but I still think that
but you recognize the situation.
Took advantage.
And you said you said in the kindness and most tender part of your heart, I'm not going to let my dad be alone on Father's Day with none of his children around.
My stepmom was working on Saturday night until about 8:30 or 9, so he would have been just walked in. He just kind of looked at me funny at first, so I was like, came to surprise you. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, good for you. That'll be something neither one of you will ever forget, I promise you.
I know.
All right, hour 2 coming up. We're brought to you by Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, right at the entrance to Riley Farms. Dr. Bo Sparkman, Dr. Brogan, great doctors that give great care and a comfortable experience every time. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, they do it all right there at Riley Farm Dental. That's why they've been voted top 3 best of the best every year since 2017. Book your appointment with a phone call, 479-226-3500. That's 226-3500, or online at RileyFarmDental.com.
Let's talk John Rahm winning the U.S. Open. Coming up next on the Morning Rush.
Burton.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Frank Girl Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Girl Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Whoo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry, we've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Do you remember the joy you felt as a kid about pizza night? Remember how good it smelled? You could taste it even before you opened the box. And then that first bite. It was so good. Be the supper time savior. Order Jim's Razorback Pizza now. 434-3456. The best pizza in Fort Smith, or it's free.
Jim's Razorback Pizza.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Cloudy skies, occasional showers and thunderstorms today. Our temperatures will fall into the mid-60s across the north and into the mid-70s across the south. Showers and a chance of thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low in the low to mid-50s. We will see sunshine returning Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Check out the Hog Talk podcast. Find it on hitthatline.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
And Spain has its first U.S. Open champion, John Rahm.
You have no idea what this means right now. I'm a big believer in karma, and after what happened a couple weeks ago, I stayed really positive, knowing big things were coming. I didn't know what was going to be, but I knew we're coming to a special place. I know I got my breakthrough win here, and it's a very special place for my family. And the fact that my parents were able to come, I got out of COVID protocol early. I just felt like the stars were aligning. I just don't know how to explain it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Got a lot to get to on a Hot Take Monday in hour number 2. Kevin Kopps won the Dick Hauser Trophy, the stopper of the year. He's been awarded the best pitcher, the best player by several outlets already. He's also a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award. John Rahm wins the U.S. Open. We'll get to that coming up here on the Morning Rush. Some headlines as well as what happened in the College World Series this weekend. What shook out in college baseball's elite number 8 teams left. And we'll get to that coming up here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV.
Yeah, you'll find Lee J, Chris, and the crew 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale with the best brands at the best prices. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. Plus, they have a mobile service shuttle that will keep you camping as well. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Ballpark where Torrey Pines ranks as one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States, especially as a major.
Any U.S. Open course is going to be difficult, and I know it gave up 600 par, but the way these courses play, like it's a daily fee course. Pebble Beach and Torrey Pines are, I think the Bethpage Black would be the other. There's only a handful of daily fee courses, meaning me and you could get a tee time and go play at Torrey Pines, Pebble Beach, or there's very few of those that ever get on. We'd have to, because it's probably I know it's north of 600 at Pebble. It's probably 400 or 500 at Torrey
for a round of 18.
Well, I mean, you got to price Pebble Beach is Pebble Beach. I mean, it's on the most expensive real estate maybe on earth.
What's the most you've ever played for a golf round? I think mine's like 60 or
maybe
70.
Maybe 100.5.
Okay.
But I would, if you said, hey, we're planning a trip to go to Pebble, it's going to cost $600.
You do it?
Oh, well, that's a once. Yeah, I'd do that once.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, so the point is, there's very few of these daily fee courses. And if we had a tee time there in August, the course would be set up much different. You see these fairways that have been narrowed down to the size of your living room. The rough has grown up another 8 inches. I mean, the way these courses play for a U.S. Open week versus the way they play if we were there, they're out mowing the rough down today, at Torrey. Because
what's the word you said?
It becomes unenjoyable for the average golfer.
The rhyme you said about the U.S. Open?
Well, the old adage is when people used to complain about the difficulty of the course, that someone's I don't know who to credit this to, is the U.S. Open is meant to identify the best golfers in the world, not embarrass them. Something along those lines.
Okay.
I'm not getting it maybe to the word, but that's the old adage about because the U.S. Open has traditionally always been set up as the most difficult test in golf once a year. And oftentimes, I think when Tiger and Rocco Mediate went to the 18-hole playoff in 2008 at Torrey Pines, it was 1 under, I think, was the score after regulation, after 72 holes.
And
oftentimes that is the score, it's somewhere around par.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned this today when the FedEx Cup standings come out later today.
The World Golf Rankings.
World Golf Rankings.
When I was listening, I had to go run an errand after dinner last night when the tournament was over, and I was listening on satellite radio to just kind of the aftermath, and they were talking about Jon Rahm and Dustin Johnson. I think Rahm was 3rd in the world coming into this week, and now they were talking about after this win, they'd be, maybe fractions of a decimal point away from separating 1 and 2 between those two, and it was unclear as to who would be 1. So Jon Rahm's either going to be 1 or 2 in the world after that win.
And I didn't watch it as intently as you did over the weekend. Did we ever have a pairing with DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka?
No.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Well, I think particularly when golf had the opportunity in prime time, that was the thing. I fished all day Saturday, but even Thursday and Friday, you work, traveled Friday after work to get to the river. You can watch live golf, not replay or on demand, in prime time because
which is
the
very
West Coast.
rare. Yeah.
Well, only when they play at Pebble or Torrey or I can't remember. Olympic Park was the course in San Francisco area a few years. Only when they play West Coast do you get that treat. To me, it's a chance to get people interested in your game, to come back for more. If you've got a drama-filled pairing,
especially with
in prime time.
With no Tiger to draw in that audience.
You couldn't bank on Phil being...
He shot plus 11, I think.
Yeah, he caught lightning in a bottle for a few days at the PGA Championship. You just couldn't... You needed something extra if you're golf. You're searching for something extra.
With Tiger in the background, I think a lot of people thought it might have been Jordan Spieth to one point. If you're an executive on the PGA, or if you're television and you're looking at the select group of young men that you're trying to market, who is the most marketable guy right now on the PGA Tour that can appeal to a lot of different people? And no one's ever going to replace or be the next Tiger Woods. But who could at least draw some eyes and ears that might not necessarily traditionally watch a golfing event? Is it Koepka? Is it DeChambeau?
Well, DeChambeau's not the most likable guy, but he's unique. His swing is easily identifiable. The way he addresses the ball, that straight arm, and the way he just throws his body into it, the hat, the way he dresses is just different. So he stands out. He may be the foil in some people's eyes. He may be the guy that people love to hate for some. I enjoy watching him play, but he embraces the role. He embraces that kind of that
villain role.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, as
I don't know if that makes him the most marketable, but he's one of the most recognizable right now. And golf is searching and struggling for that.
And I have a select group of friends, kind of like yourself, and it's different because we're about 20 years in age difference that we play golf with our buddies. And I have some buddies that I got one that played on the Canadian tour, and then some others that are really good that play at a country club, that play at country clubs, others that we just play every single weekend. And I have a pretty good chunk of friends that play golf, but it's not, they don't necessarily watch it, Tommy. That's the issue.
There's a difference.
And that is an issue that golf is
Most
having
people
right
play
now.
golf because it's a good experience to drink beer.
Yeah. So, but
it's a great excuse to drink
I'm
beer.
terrible, but we enjoy playing it. But that's what I found in today is, and I watched a little bit this weekend, but I wasn't locked in.
Well,
I'll watch the 4 majors, and that's about it.
Golf for someone like me or you it's a social event as much as it is a sporting event.
Yeah.
We can gather with 3 other buddies, go out, spend 4 or 5 hours, have some brewskis, and have a good time. And whether we shoot 78, 88, or 98 doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Can we have a good time with friends? That's all that really counts.
And I refuse to.
But that doesn't mean we're a fan of watching 3 or 4 hours of golf on TV.
There's a big difference. And lately, I've refused to play my own. I only play scrambles because I'm decent enough to hit a good shot every once in a while, but I just won't play. I won't play 18 by myself.
Well, you got to though to get better. That's the only way you're going to get better.
Yeah. I need to go to the range. I need downtown to help me out with some lessons. I still got 2 lessons left that I need to take.
True, but you got to play your own ball to get better. You don't have to play it down. Don't let someone. Don't let Clay talk you into that.
What does down mean?
Can't touch it. If you're bending over, you better be tying your shoes.
Yeah.
But you got to learn to hit the ball and hit your own ball.
Got to hit the range more too. So a lot to learn, a lot to improve on with my golf game. That is for sure. All right, Tom Murphy coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll talk to Tom about a lot of things, including his Hawks last night.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG. Bring your own guts.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs! Discount cannot be combined with other offers or discounts.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco Double Frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the Ultimate Unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's largest and most dependable networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Compatible device required. See straighttalk.com.
Headquartered here in Arkansas, designed in Switzerland, and field tested by customers all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Our Alpha Camo pattern was designed with versatility in mind. Whether you are hunting early or late season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, our layering system will keep you warm and dry no matter how extreme the conditions. Visit us at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Canis Athlete, be the wolf. The first thing people notice when they drive up to your home or walk in any room of your house is the color. And if you're looking for the perfect color and the perfect paint, you'll find it at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The Paint Store in Van Buren gives you hometown service from people who know what they're talking about. You don't have to chase them down to get help at the Paint Store. They're always there to help you get that perfect color and that perfect match for your project. If you're looking for the perfect paint color, it's at the Paint Store, 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for ages 18 and older. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call now, 452-6116.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
For more than 80 years, Forest Grin Inc. has been building the foundations of the River Valley and beyond. Forest Grin, a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence, is now hiring experienced concrete finishers and heavy equipment operators. Apply now from any mobile device at forestgrininc.com. Forest Grin is a heritage company and a premier employer. Don't miss this opportunity to become part of the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now from any device anywhere at forestgrininc.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Are your real estate investments investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Head and Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere, the Head and Super Spook Jr.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The Arkansas Razorbacks have just won in overtime the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hear the voice of Ron Franklin in that 2009 Liberty Bowl when I was watching the 2004 game between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Texas Longhorns, where Arkansas narrowly lost in that one. The reason I was watching it is because I'm excited for that Texas-Arkansas game. 6 p.m. I know that we are going to have a huge blowout week for that. We're going to be working that Monday on Labor Day weekend because it's Texas week.
Well, and you just played Rice, so it's going to be a big week coming up. Looking forward to that. Hey, if you had a great weekend fishing, whether it was on the Arkansas River or if you were on the lakes working some laydowns at Beaver or Washita or Table Rock, take along the next time the Head and Super Spook Jr. It's the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure, and it has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. You can find this at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Head Super Spook Jr. from Pradco.
Kevin, what's up, man? This is Andrew Benintendi. Just wanted to congratulate you on winning the Dick Hauser Award. Very well deserved. You earned it. It was fun watching you throw the ball this year, and good luck the rest of the way. Go Hogs.
So that's Andrew Benintendi congratulating a fellow Dick Hauser. He said award, but it's trophy, right?
Award, trophy.
Okay.
The Dick Hauser trophy, though.
Okay. Well, they say it's like the Golden Spikes Award, Dick Hauser Trophy.
Right.
So I just want to make sure. So he also wins the Stopper of the Year, but that's elite company to be in if you're Kevin Kopps, and just kind of what's miraculous about how all this is played off. And we got a chance to talk with his father, Rick. Hopefully at some point we'll get the chance to talk with Kevin as well. Just how the path that he's taken to get to this point it wasn't easy. It wasn't, he didn't just walk into stardom. It took him a little bit.
No, I mean, it was work for him to get to college baseball at this level. And then, to go through the ups and the downs, the injury, the Tommy John surgery, listening to him talk about the recovery from that and how tedious that can be for hours at a time, doing what you have to do to come back from that surgery. So, and COVID hits, and it just seemed like there was obstacle or hurdle after obstacle in his path at Arkansas. And he'd been a good pitcher, but this had not been 3 previous years of something close to what we saw this year, and then this was another level. What we saw this year was a whole new and different and much, much improved Kevin Kopps, and it just shows you what perseverance is all about, what the payoff for perseverance is all about. When you stay with it and you do your work and you believe in yourself and you have people around you that believe in you, this is what's possible.
Other headlines to get to. Brett Bielema doesn't know how Twitter works. He typed in Chancellor.
Well,
I mean,
I could do this. I could make this same mistake too.
You know how Twitter works.
Well, I know how Twitter works, but if you'd had probably as many vodkas as he had at that point, and you didn't have your reading glasses on, or maybe you were driving down the. I don't know. Who knows what mistake he made? But
when I have learned
honestly, who isn't curious about those pictures if you hadn't seen them?
Yeah, when I drink, I stay off my phone. That is a
That's
rule,
a
rule of thumb that I
rule.
follow. Do not get on my phone because that's just a bad idea. Now, you got some basketball news today because Johnny Wright out of California is an ESPN 5-star. He's going to be in town, so you'll hear some news. We'll have Richard on later this week to just talk about his visit, what he thought of the Razorback basketball program. The Bucks beat the Nets in an awesome Game 7 on Saturday night. You had the Hawks beat the 76ers. We'll talk with Tom about that a little bit coming up. And then also, did you see the video of the Suns and 4 guy, Tommy, where
No, I did
you have
not.
not seen this video?
Nope.
So there's this
I hadn't
guy,
watched a lot of NBA at this point.
There's this guy that a fan for the Phoenix Suns that is fighting this other fan, and he just keeps saying Suns and 4 and keeps beating him up. So now there's these other Suns fans that have taken it upon themselves. Anytime they see a Clippers fan and it gets a little rowdy, they keep saying Suns and 4, and then there's just fights that are breaking out. So it's a little violent that's gotten in this morning. So that's hopefully that'll be something that you won't see as much of, but it's kind of sweeping the National Basketball Association with the Phoenix Suns right now. But then also we brought up earlier, John Rahm wins the U.S. Open, the first Spaniard to ever win. Does in dramatic fashion, wins after birdieing 17 and 18. And you said 18's a birdie hole, but Tommy, 17 ain't a bad drive, and then somehow found a way to hit a birdie on 17 and then closed it down with 18.
18, the putt. I mean, I'm sure most of us have seen at least the highlight of the putt on 18 on the 72nd hole. That was no easy putt to make either, and you see the fist pump that he goes back for another fist pump. And at that point, he doesn't know that he's won the golf tournament. But he was in a great position, and then Oosthuizen had a chance himself to match what he did and win the tournament. But Oosthuizen found trouble off the tee and had to punch out. He like many others in this tournament, Koepka, DeChambeau, McIlroy, they all kind of fell by the wayside down the stretch. The pressure of the moment got to them.
Yeah. Wasn't good. Tom, I want to start this morning just with Kevin Kopps and just another, not just another, but he picks up 2 awards over the weekend, the Dick Hauser Trophy and the Stopper of the Year given to the best relief pitcher in college baseball. Tom, what is the most impressive thing that you've noticed about Kevin Kopps after covering him the last few years?
Well, and good morning, everybody, probably his personality and just his kind of just an honest, good person. And Dave Van Horn has been telling us that all year. And, he was a team captain for 3 years. So that means that he's been impressive to his teammates. And for him, I'm just happy that his work and he decided to devote what he talked about on his Hauser Trophy video conference was that he devoted his eating to performance as opposed to liking what he was eating. So he ate better. He trained. He got himself into position that he had the stamina to pitch on back-to-back days and pitch long innings and stuff. And he turned himself into, with the help of that cutter, a pitcher who we're going to be talking about this season for years upon years, one of the best ever in college baseball history.
Yeah, you mentioned his eating habits, and we were talking with Rick about that 2 weeks ago, and he talked about how he did research. He was trying to figure out what would be good to put in his body, and that was how kind of the beet juice got started. But when you look at Kevin and how it started this year, Tom, even this year he wasn't the initial closer. That was Jackson Wiggins, and then he fights through like a terrible season last year. He's had Tommy John surgery. He's redshirted before. I mean, you think about kind of the trials and tribulations he's gone to. Based on what Rick said, based on what Kevin said, I'd say those have really made him the pitcher that we saw this past year.
No question about it. He did not have a good ERA, and I led my story with this in Saturday's paper that he wasn't sure if Arkansas would even want him back or if they'd want to have their roster with younger, new lively arms. And Matt Hobbs was like, no, that's just stupid. Come on back. And he went from having the 8 ERA. He gave up more runs in, I think, 11 innings or 11 appearances in 2020. He gave up more runs in 11 appearances than he did in 33 appearances this year. And quite honestly, y'all, I said this last week, they should have scored enough runs that he was the winning pitcher in the Sunday game, and they were playing in the College World Series now.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though tagged with a loss in that game, I think that game probably did as much to further his lore and to further the passion I think a lot of people have for him to see what he did even in that game, even though he gave up the deciding run and the home run. I think just the gutsiness of that performance. I think while you came up short and you're tagged with the L, I think that performance in itself probably did as much for his for the history of Kevin Kopps as any other outing.
I think so, because he gave up the 2-run home run. Arkansas goes on top with the Charlie Welch double. He gives up the 2-run home run, and it's 2-1 for several innings. And he just held Arkansas in it. He had many pretty short innings, the 4th, 5th, 6th through there. He was more on top of his game, and you just felt like the Razorbacks would finally solve that freshman right-hander whose changeup and whose high fastball just kind of baffled Arkansas, kept them off balance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways you can think about it and interpret it. And I've had family members and friends come up and kind of question the tactics. Do you go with Wicklander maybe to start the top of the 9th? But yeah, I think Kopps solidified himself. But let me tell y'all something. I think North Carolina State is a legit great team. They were 1-8 in conference play, and they powered down the stretch. They were very hot. They went in and blasted Louisiana Tech, and they came up here and they did what they had to do. I think if Arkansas plays them, 20 times, Arkansas wins 15, 16 of those games. It just so happened that those two, they had the right combination of pitchers. Arkansas didn't tax 2 starters and didn't make those left-handers come in sooner, and it just went in their favor. But you saw in their opening game at the College World Series that Butler hit another 2-run home run. I actually like how humble and hard-working these guys sounded after their Zoom calls. They didn't rub it in. I mean, Elliot Avent said, I don't want to use the term we beat Kevin Kopps. We just kind of outlasted him. And so, I don't know. I have an appreciation for the style of ball they play and their approach, and I hope they do well in the College World Series.
Tom Murphy with us here on a Monday edition of the Morning Rush, a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. Let's shift gears, talk some Arkansas football. This weekend, if you're on Twitter and any of us paying attention, it was just loaded up with photos from recruits with pictures with Sam Pittman, pictures with position coaches. Great to see. I know we're not talking recruiting, so just great to see a return to normalcy, Tom, with official visits on campus, players declaring when they're going to come and putting Arkansas on their list. That's one of those things that this time of year we didn't see a year ago. We weren't sure when this was going to happen again, and now finally Sam Pittman's able to really, recruit the way he's always has in his career as an assistant.
That's right, and June was the big moment, and they are capitalizing on that. And if you rated all the different things you have to do to be a successful football program, X's and O's, hiring of coaches, game plans, all those things, and recruiting, all the stuff you have to do, being a phenomenal recruiting program has got to rank up there at the very top. And Sam Pittman understands that. He had a good idea of it when he was at Arkansas, but when he went to Georgia, he saw I think he referred to it as recruiting on steroids. And so he's brought that here. And they understand the kind of the social phenomena that you kind of create when you have the guys on campus and you get them to envision what it will be like. They're wearing the uniform, they're having their pictures made, what it's like to kind of be in life. Now, Sam Pittman also tells them about the hard work that it's going to require. But for Arkansas, it was imperative that they start getting talent and getting a deeper roster.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they're on top of their game, and who knows? I don't think it's going to translate into being a contender in the SEC next year, but winning half your games and starting to trend upward, I think, is very realistic to believe.
Tom, for the 2022 and the 2023 class, what do you need to see to say that's success for Arkansas? Because I don't think you're going to see ever a number 1, 2, 3 national ranking. Be hard to even get to there in the West, much alone the conference.
Yeah.
So what defines success for you in your definition for Arkansas when it comes to recruiting and success for Sam and his staff?
Well, just landing some big-time skill talent, improving speed really at all positions, but they've got to get defensive linemen. They've got to get defensive ends. If they'd have had, healthy defensive ends for the LSU game, they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe against Missouri, those guys get enough of a pass rush that Missouri can't throw all over them during their comeback. And maybe you win 2 more games. And suddenly, you went from this is a promising 3-7 season to, wow, what a legit turnaround, 5-5. It didn't happen. Of course, the Auburn game could have gone either way. But, yeah, they've got to get defensive ends who make a difference. We're talking about 6'5", 6'6", the prototype D ends, and stack up some depth. They got to get some linebacker help because now that Grant Morgan and Poole are older, they got to be able to have linebackers come in, and you can tell they're recruiting the last couple of years. They understand the value of defensive backs against modern offenses. That's why their schemes against Ole Miss, they were effective because Ole Miss had not seen a lot of that. So they've been stacking up at the end. They've got guys who they think can cover. Didn't work out so well in the Missouri game, but when you've got Greg Brookses and Buster Browns and Hudson Clarks and guys like that at corner, Ladarius Bishop, you can do well if they do their assignments in big games, and then just get some offensive talent in, some O-linemen. You got to recruit everywhere, but it seems to me they know what they're doing, and if they can get a collection of 4 stars and a few 5s dotted in, they could be on their way in the SEC West.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't had those type of guys in the past. You think about a Trey Flowers, you think about a Jake Beckett, you think about a Jamal Anderson, and I know that's one of the more difficult positions to recruit in the Southeastern Conference because there's not as many of those. But for Coach Ashley, I mean, what have you found out about him that leads you to believe that they can have success in that area recruiting those guys?
Well, if Sam Pittman tells us that he thinks they're going to be a better pass rushing team, that their technique is going to be more sound, and then the pass rushers themselves. I mean, we've had the Zooms with Zach Williams and others, and they say, "Man, I've got better moves. I'm not just doing bull rushes, or I'm stronger. I'm able to put spin moves in and use my hands better." I mean, that's the thing we heard the most is that they're being able to use their hands better.
Mm-hmm.
But the talent at tackle, offensive tackle in the SEC is not going to diminish. So it's always going to be a challenge. And you have to stack 2 or 3 good defensive ends also with good defensive tackles. I mean, they just got to be stronger and deeper on the defensive front, and Sam Pittman knows that.
And faster.
Yeah.
Speed's not just something for wide receivers and running backs. Speed's also something for defensive ends and getting there as well. So, I mean, I just think overall team speed, the more you can improve that, the faster you're going to, the faster you're going to get there is the faster you are, I guess, so to speak.
No question about it. And, receiver and running back, all those positions. And right now, when you think of their skill positions going into 2021, if KJ Jefferson is improved and all that, they'll be better. But what do they have behind Traylon Smith and Traylon Burks? I mean, who's going to fill in some of these gaps? And to me, that's one of the biggest keys on this team. Can Rocket Sanders and A.J. Green, can some of these guys help at running back? And who's going to help Traylon Burks in the receiving core to keep teams from bracketing him and putting a lot of attention on him?
Tom, appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you on Thursday, okay?
And can you believe my Atlanta Hawks?
Oh, yeah, I forgot the
conference semifinal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Trae Young was
or final.
2 for 17 at one point, and they just got going, and combinations of defense, some clutch shooting, and Philly just choking it away in their home court last night. I bet you were loving every bit of that.
As an Atlanta fan, you're kind of trained to wait for the other shoe to drop. We take a 3-2 lead. Oh, we're going to lose at home. We're going to lose the series. No, not this time. It was sweet.
Got it done. Eastern Conference
and
Finals.
your Braves beat the Cardinals in 7. So
how about that?
Yeah. So.
Drew Smiley,
Yeah.
good job, son.
Yeah. Tom, have a good
See
one.
y'all.
We'll talk later this week. Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. We'll be with Tom at SEC Media Days. That's just under a month away from now that we'll be in Hoover and back to normal a little bit with the big summer kickoff of college football. It's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. All the best brands at the best prices. At every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty, and they have a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping as well. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So you brought up SEC Media Days. I was thinking about this over the weekend because we booked our hotels, got the radio and everything set up. Grant Morgan's going to be down there. That's an obvious choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think KJ Jefferson. So I would think that the question then, is it between Jalen Catalon and Traylon Burks? Is that who it's between who you're sending? You send your quarterback, you send your leader on defense.
Well, to me, I mean, you start with Morgan and you start with Burks, and then you figure
Oh, so you don't think Jefferson?
No, I think Burks is the
Okay.
obvious. For me, you send the one that has the best chance of being first team All SEC. I mean, that's not Jefferson. I mean, to me, that's who you're sending first. Now, maybe Jefferson's the third player, but I'm with you on Morgan. But to me, it's Burks, and then you figure out who the third one is.
Okay. I've listened to all those guys talk. I think
it's his last chance to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's not going to be here next year.
That's why I said he's the obvious choice, and I think all of them would be great ambassadors for the University of Arkansas, the football program, being down at SEC Media Days. And
Traylon Smith might be another one.
I would be surprised if it was anyone outside of the 4 guys we just mentioned.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if it's.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't the first 2 guys we mentioned and then someone else.
Yeah, I don't anticipate how they go another way, but we're getting closer to that. That's going to be July the 19th through the 23rd, so less than a month away from going down there to Birmingham, Alabama. And Coach Pittman, interestingly enough, is going to be the last day this year. Typically what happens is we'll do the show on Thursday and just immediately skedaddle out of there. But and I don't know if he's going to be the first one to go off the board on Thursday or the last one, but we'll be doing shows live there and staying there the majority of that day.
Yeah, so it'll be a full week of coverage, and all 3 shows will have live coverage from SEC Media Days. So, like I said, just under a month from we'll be there 4 weeks from today.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for that. I'm really excited. I get to see my cousin down there who lives in Birmingham, my little nephew, little Ollie. It's always a fun experience to go down there. And then I think next year it's in Nashville, and the year after it's back in Atlanta. I got to go back and look at that timeline or whatever.
Used to always be in Hoover, but now they move it around.
They've auctioned it off.
Well,
if you will.
When they built the new Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta and the College Football Hall of Fame and all that,
awesome.
it made sense.
The setup was
poor
poor in the College Football Hall in terms of Radio Row because they didn't have us in the thick of things. But the good thing about Radio Row in Birmingham in the Hyatt Regency is they got you right, and they're just people walk through. You'll have that guy that dresses up his dog like a tiger and all the fun-filled stuff that goes along with SEC Media Days.
All right, good football conversation this morning. Hey, I was talking about some fishing earlier today, and Father's Day weekend, can't imagine not trout fishing. It's one of the things that me and my dad did together, and hopefully, that's something maybe that you do once a year with your kids. If you're looking for a special place to go, or you haven't been to Gaston's White River Resort in a while, call and plan a trip, whether it's this summer or you want to wait till it cools down in the fall. Weekends are going fast. It's a great way to also spend a weekend. There's so much to do on the resort there at Gaston's and also around it. Mountain Home is 15 minutes away. The Bull Shoals Lake is just minutes away, so you could even enjoy some of the lake time while you're also enjoying your stay at Gaston's. They got a pool, plenty to do at Gaston's White River Resort. Check it out online, gastons.com, plus a great restaurant to take care of you 3 meals a day, or you can cook in your cabin. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagle's Nest is coming in hot.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's finally here, and with a great deal on a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, and more, you can celebrate all of your favorite summer holidays, like Memorial Day, Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, Father's Day.
You're doing great, Jan.
Thanks, Dad. Love you. International Pizza Party Day. Pepperoni, please. And by pepperoni, I mean Hawaiian. Let's keep this between us, though. I have relatives in Boston. I'll take another slice of pepperoni, please. But hold the pepperoni. Let's go ahead and add ham and pineapple. Thanks.
Toyota, let's go places. Get $750 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a 2021 Camry LE for $269 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N6121.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust, offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Woo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
Frank Girl Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Girl Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Dine in or call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations, Burrow Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are currently open 11 till 6, Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson going to keep the football. You called it, left side, inside the 5. Jefferson to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. 12 yards for KJ.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Got a great text from Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated this morning. Tommy, you want to how do you spell Texas?
How do you spell Texas? After last night, you spell Texas with 21 Ks.
21 Ks.
If you didn't watch the game of the College World Series last night, Texas was struck out by Mississippi State staff, 2 pitchers, 21 times last night. Only 1 walk.
This is a battle of the teams you hate coming up between Texas and Tennessee. I don't know which Arkansas fans are going to cheer for or against, or if they just – I don't know what's going to happen in that game in terms of where the Arkansas fandom is going to lie.
Yeah. Bednar and Sims last night were just unbelievable. 15 strikeouts for their starter, and Bednar and Sims came in, struck out the first 4, had 6, didn't walk anyone. So, I mean, it was quite the performance for Mississippi State's pitching last night. They held on to win 2-1 in that game. Texas got one in the bottom of the 9th, but it was all about pitching in that game.
So do you have a preference between Texas and Tennessee? Who'd you like to see win or lose?
Can they both lose somehow? I think I'd rather see Texas win.
I think so too. And mine is from a personal choice, because then I will go ballistic on Fox Sports Knoxville at some point this week if that ends up being the case. Willie from West Memphis will call in and just tear whichever hosts a new one. That is why I want it to happen, because it'd be good radio.
Yeah.
But I understand that the people listening to the program, like
well, you're not going to catch any grief from guys at the bar or people in your circle if Texas
loses.
If Texas goes on and win, you are going to have to hear about it for some time. Now, I don't. At this point, when you're in the elimination side of the bracket, your odds of winning the national title for either one of these teams, Texas or is very slim.
Decreased dramatically. Yes, correct.
The odds. I mean, you're out, but the odds are against you. You need to really go 2-0, just like a regional, to really have a great shot to win it all. So, because you get the extra rest, it's just the way the format works. You win, you get the advantages. So, I'm not really concerned about either one of these teams ultimately being the national champion. Not saying it can happen, but the odds are long against them at this point.
Are you concerned that the Vandy Whistler is still a thing that I think Phil Elson detests more than anything on the face of planet Earth?
Who was it? Someone sent me a picture that was in Omaha. I'd have to go back through my text. They were in a bar. Oh, there it is. Our buddy Ben Thomas.
He was in Omaha?
He's in Omaha. He's got a connection. Luke Bonfield, is former Razorback, is on staff at Tennessee. He's a
stepson-in-law, right?
Well, soon future.
They're not married.
They're
yet?
not married
okay.
yet.
And
They
Lauren
will
aren't
be.
married yet. Okay.
His stepdaughter and Luke are engaged. So they are in Omaha watching the games. Ben sends me a picture. He's in some kind of watering hole, it looks like, some kind of eatery, and there's the Vandy Whistler.
Jeez,
the most infamous man in SEC baseball.
Luke's a good kid. I like Luke. He's a good guy.
Anyway,
that's Omaha would be a lot more fun, and we brought this up earlier. Arkansas is still winning the shot count right now. There's a Jello shot contest that happens every single year, and they've got the 8 College World Series team, and then they've got duct tape Arkansas, and Arkansas's leading the count. Who's surprised at that? I'm not. So that's I know some Arkansas fans that I've seen. I mean, they'll show them on ESPN. Some Arkansas fans have still made the trip, because they either bought tickets or they've got connections like Ben does with his future son-in-law, and then where they're just like, well, I already paid for the hotel, I already paid for this, I might as well go. But it's not the same bucket list type of event unless Arkansas is in attendance. And I would love at some point to be able to go to a Final Four. Heck, it's in New Orleans next year, which is probably the closest it's going to be for me for quite some time. And I would have
Dallas would be close, but you're right.
Yeah, I would have a free place to stay down there in New Orleans, but it would be that much sweeter if Arkansas made their way to Pelicans Arena or the Smoothing Keen Center and was there playing. I'm assuming that's where the Final Four is, in the Smoothing Keen Center.
No, it'd be in Mercedes. It'd be the Superdome.
It'd be the Superdome?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Then I apologize. So that, to me, is more, I mean, for everyone listening, it's more appealing. It's just not the same when your team, and in this case, we're talking Arkansas sports here on Arkansas Sports Talk Radio. When your team's a part of it, it makes it that much more special.
But as a sports fan, this is still a bucket list event. But you're right. It's just, the steak will taste better at the Drover if the Hogs were playing. So
Robert in Fayetteville says when it comes talking Texas versus Tennessee, he says root for the tornado.
Yeah. And don't root. I mean, they've had some of them up in Omaha from time to time. So they'll get some bad. Before this is over, odds are there'll be some bad weather at the College World Series.
I still haven't had the Drover, and that's what Clay said. If they would have made it to Omaha, he would have taken me out. So hopefully next year at some point I'll get a chance to use Clay Henry's promise and have one of those steaks. What kind? By the way, my uncle Tommy is coming in tomorrow night. He said, pick out the restaurant that you never go to, that you not necessarily can't afford, but don't make it a priority to go to. So I've got to think about that.
Few on my list there.
Yeah.
I went in 2015 when I was up there, and I went kind of first wave. Me and Ruskin were going to split it up. I went for the first wave, and if they'd won and advanced, he'd went back. And so I was there just kind of by myself with just some others in the media and some friends and whatever.
I was there. Yeah.
But I went to the Drover for lunch because dinner was tough to get in there. But man, you go lunch, sat at the bar, had a little lunch-sized steak. It was a good experience.
I would get one
quaint
of
little place.
It's like a prime rib or steak sandwich. Those are so underrated for lunch. I don't know if they offer those, but I'm excited to at one point. I got a chance to go to St. Elmo's. Harry and Izzy. St. Elmo's is the other one. We could have gotten in there, but that was a really famous steakhouses in Indianapolis. And I know some of our listeners are going to be taken aback by this, but I would rather have the more famous pizza place wherever we go than the steak place. And that's just different palates, different opinions. And I love steak, and I'll probably have one tomorrow night with
Omaha's. Nebraska and Omaha is known for steak.
Correct. Just not ketchups on steaks, just steaks by themselves.
They may not even have ketchup in Omaha. Just to keep that from ever happening.
It's disavowed.
They may not even allow it across the Iowa state line.
They don't allow it, yeah.
Hey, it's summertime. Burton Pools and Spas can help put that backyard of your dreams together for you. They've got above-ground pools, cash and carry. Listen to this price, starting at $19.99. So if you're handy and you got the ability to put all that together, you can save a lot of money, and you can have that pool installed by this weekend. Pick it up today for $19.99 at Burton Pools and Spas. They've got a limited supply right now of those, plus a full line of Doughboy above-ground pools. Built to last, best on the market. By the time you get done setting this thing up, build the deck around it, it's going to look like a great in-ground pool. I can promise you. It's going to be built to last for years of enjoyment for you and your family. Learn more about above-ground pools that are affordable and can be installed quickly from Burton Pools and Spas, 0 Street in Fort Smith, in Springdale, just off I-49 at the 412 exit. And always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Had a great Father's Day weekend with my dad. Tommy caught a big fish up on the North Fork River, and I know a lot of you enjoyed your Father's Day weekend. One of the things I also got a chance to do this weekend is catch up with some people. I saw the White family, John David and company at church, was talking to him a little bit about the upcoming season. Also saw Pastor Mark Henry, was talking to him a little bit as well. And kind of thinking about this with Hudson and John David, who are both going to be juniors this next year, they have never truly experienced a full Razorback stadium. They sucked in 2019. 2020, you had COVID. What's it going to be like the second week of the season when Texas comes to town, 6 p.m., ESPN, national primetime game? What's that going to be like for them and every other player on that roster that's never experienced a full Razorback stadium? We'll talk about that next. Stay with us. It's The Morning Rush.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, SpaceOAR Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of SpaceOAR, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
These days we Google everything, but the practical advice about painting comes from the paint store in Van Buren. For 33 years we have worked with professionals as well as homeowners to share the best tips and techniques. Richards Paint, made in USA. Wooster Rollers, made in USA. Corona Brushes, made in USA. We want nothing more than to share our knowledge to help you achieve the best paint job. Friendly, expert, professional. The paint store in Van Buren.
Business is back, and your locally owned TGI Fridays is now hiring for multiple positions. For over 26 years, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has been locally owned and a fun place to work, and we want you to come be a part of our family. Apply in person or message us online on our TGI Fridays Fort Smith Facebook page. If you've been out of work and are needing a job, or you're just looking for a career change, we have multiple positions available in the front and back of the house, and we want to welcome you to our family at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith.
I chose Ashley Air just because I've always wanted to work for the best. I asked a lot of folks at my church who the best heat and air company is, and 90% of the people I talked to said Ashley was the best. So I wanted to work for the best.
Great things are happening at Ashley Air. We're looking for skilled service and installation technicians for our Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations. We're willing to pay the right person up to $5,000 in hiring bonuses. To apply online, visit our website at ashley.air.com.
AshleyAir.com. The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. They've carried the best brands in golf with the best pricing available. The Golf Nut has a great selection of demo clubs in stock. Titleist Vokey wedges have finally arrived. Stop in and get yours now while you can. The Golf Nut has a wide selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories. Everything you need for the everyday golfer. The driving range is open, or take advantage of the climate-controlled TrackMan simulation bays inside. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Cloudy skies, occasional showers and thunderstorms today. Our temperatures will fall into the mid-60s across the north and into the mid-70s across the south. Showers and a chance of thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low in the low to mid-50s. We will see sunshine returning Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Weekdays from 11 to 1. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
And Spain has its first U.S. Open champion, John Rahm.
I have no idea what this means right now. I'm a big believer in karma, and after what happened a couple weeks ago, I stayed really positive, knowing big things were coming. I didn't know what was going to be, but I knew we're coming to a special place. I know I got my breakthrough win here, and it's a very special place for my family. And the fact that my parents were able to come, I got out of COVID protocol early. I just felt like the stars were aligning. I just don't know how to explain it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Hi, guys.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's hour number 3 of The Morning Rush on a hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. Got some College World Series stuff to talk about. John Rahm, as you heard at the top of our open, he is your U.S. Open champion in 2021. But this segment, I want to spend a little time on football. Got a chance to catch up with some Arkansas people this weekend down there in Little Rock, and so I'm thinking about the upcoming season, particularly the Texas game that I know we're really excited about the second week of September. It occurred to me, just like this basketball team this past year, that there are players that have yet to play fully in a Bud Walton Arena packed crowd. And just like this upcoming season, inside of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, you'll get that full impact because not only you don't have to worry about COVID restrictions, but there's a lot of excitement surrounding this team. Now, I don't know if they're going to be good. I don't know if they're going to be a bowl team. I don't know if they'll be better. I don't know if they'll be worse. But the excitement heading to this season, there is a lot of that, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a sec.
Hot Take Mondays brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices. Also the best brands that are available for rent, whether it's motorized RV, a motorhome, or towable RVs, like a fifth wheel or bumper pool. They have those available for weekend or weekly rentals if you'd like to experience camping or maybe experience a different size camper to see exactly where you want to head, maybe with your weekend adventures and your summer adventures. Wheels can help you get out and seek, explore, and discover so many great places around the natural state. So if you'd like to rent for the weekend or a full week, they can help you that with an RV or a towable, both fifth wheel and bumper pool RVs for rent as well. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hoping this is going to be the right one. So back in 2004.
Fayetteville, Arkansas, they're calling the Hogs. Welcome to ESPN's college football. Tonight, the 8th-ranked Texas Longhorns take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. all season ESPN Saturday Night College Football.
I know the outcome, Tommy, that night was not what you wanted.
Nope.
Were you in that game?
I was there.
That night? I mean, that was an incredible
Me and my dad went.
football game between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the 8th-ranked Texas Longhorns. And that wasn't the year they won the national championship. That was the following year. But Vince Young and company had a really good team. And they were a play or two away from falling to Arkansas that year. You had the double pass. I'm forgetting who threw it, but there was a couple plays in that game that just brought the house down. And I'm sitting here this week, and I saw Pastor Mark Henry down there at Fellowship, and he actually was eating at the same restaurant we were after the game, and it was kind of funny. So all the white boys, Tommy, Cooper, who's going to be a freshman at the U of A, was a really good wide receiver at PA this past year. Zach, who's playing in Minnesota right now, and he's on the Arkansas baseball team. John David, who'll be a junior this upcoming fall. And then Walker's going to be a 10th grader at Little Rock Christian, who's going to play quarterback for them. They were there. Now, Zach was up in Minnesota, but Mark was giving his kids a hard time because Hunter, Hudson, and Hayden didn't come back that weekend to see their dad. So that was he was just having some fun with them this weekend. But I'm thinking, like, I'm sitting here talking to John David as we're walking out of church and thinking to myself, it's like, he grew up going to games. Like, we grew up going to games with each other. But he's never played in front of 76 or 80,000 strong. And they're not going to have that against Rice the first weekend. But
it's going to be hot. It's a 1 o'clock game.
But, Tommy, 6 o'clock, Texas, Southwest Conference foe. You hadn't played them at home since 2004, 17 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me.
Maybe a bigger crowd than you think for Rice, though. Just
you think so?
The anticipation of a new season, the return of normalcy. If there's no, and there wasn't for baseball, so I anticipate nothing different for football. If there's no change in kind of the status, and you can freely attend the game with no mask,
by the way,
I think you'll have you'll be north of 70,000 just because of the excitement and anticipation of something new, a new season. May not be full, but I think you'll have a big crowd.
I might have just missed this. Has Arkansas's Hunter Yurchek come out and said that they're doing full capacity? Because Ole Miss has done it, and several other SEC schools. I don't think I've seen that memo.
I think he said the I think I don't know that
anticipated.
I don't know that they've declared it, but
that's weird.
They're selling. They're selling the tickets. I mean, if you're selling the tickets to full capacity, I guess you're planning on being at full capacity.
What are they waiting on? If other SEC schools have done it,
do you need to come out and say it? I mean, there are some that don't believe you should do it. I don't know. I mean, if he said it, but he certainly said he anticipates being at that.
Well, it just
if there was a release. Maybe it happened while I was out of town or something. I didn't see it, but
maybe someone helped me with that. I don't think I've missed that.
But I fully expect if they could sell 80,000 seats, I know it's 76. They could get 80 in there for the Texas game.
Yeah. So let's think about these first 2 weeks this upcoming season. And unfortunately, guys like Jalen Tate, Justin Smith, and Moses Moody, they'll never get to experience playing in a full Bud Walton Arena, and that stinks because that's the best team you've had in 25 years. That's the most Arkansas.
Still your best venue when it's at its best.
Correct. That's such a bummer because when you think about the hard work and effort, and that's something I was thinking about several times throughout the season. It's like, man, this team, they never got to experience that full intensity that Bud Walton Arena can provide. And I'm like, Tommy, that's the best venue you got on campus when it comes to, not that Baum Walker Stadium isn't great, not that Donald W. isn't great, but I'm with Tommy.
We haven't seen Donald W. in its current configuration great. We don't know.
That's a good point.
Since the north end zone's been closed in, we don't know.
And I would think with them, the glass panel or walling that has, because you used to be able to look in and you could still see through, but it's enclosed that sound, so that sound will bounce back into the stadium. I think I've only heard one player over the years say that that's the toughest place they've ever played. That was Greg McElroy following the 2010 game. Now, Mike Leach said it about Little Rock and War Memorial Stadium, but I don't remember if there's been a coach Now, we had Coach Schaefer on, old Mississippi State and Texas A&M coach, and he talked about the fans and how great they were. But Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if a former player, coach, or current has ever said that Donald W. is the toughest venue they've ever played in. Now, I've heard it about.
He's talking about the loud. I think McElroy was referring to the volume of the noise. Because that's what I'm interested to see is if we can get there for that Texas game. official capacity 76,000. Well, that's what they called the 2010 game at. So there's room to squeeze more in somewhere, I guess.
How big? Sorry, say that the number one more time.
70. The largest crowd to ever attend a game is 76,000 away for the 2010 Alabama game.
Yeah, and I would think for the Texas game, like you said, you can cram.
Now you have more seats, but I think the official capacity, even with a new north end zone, it went from 72 to 76 202 or whatever it is.
But you can cram 80 with standing room like you're talking about.
I think so.
And I think they'll be able to do that.
Is there 80,000 that will buy it?
For the Texas game? I would think so.
If you could only get a standing room, an SRO ticket, would you rather have an SRO and be there or watch on TV?
I'm going to be honest. My late grandpa, who this wouldn't necessarily apply to them because he and my grandma had season tickets on the 50-yard line forever. But if he was put in a situation where somehow, some way, those tickets were taken away from him, and even at his older age, the only way he could do it was stand up, he would stand up and go to that game. That is the level of hatred that this fan base, the older fan base, the guys like my late daddy Joe and others have for the University of Texas. And again, you haven't had them inside of Donald W's in 17 years. They're coming to your house. They have to go through you. And the other great thing about that game, Tommy, all the pressure's on them. No one outside of the state, and I've seen a few college football analysts here and there say Arkansas might win that game, but the expectation for Steve Sarkisian in week number 2 is for them to not just beat Arkansas, but wipe the floor with them. So if it's in the fourth quarter and it's a 7-point, a field goal ball game, who's the pressure going to be on? Sam Pittman and them, they're going to be sitting pretty, and they're going to be looked intent with a focus and a level because they know how crucial that game is. Now, we had Coach Pittman on about a month ago when we were at the Arkansas Children's Homes and Family Ministries Golf Classic, and you brought up that game, and he knows the significance of that.
Sure
now, he
does.
also made sure to mention we're focused on Rice week 1, as everyone is, but, I mean, you don't want to gloss over. I heard Ruskin mention this the other day. Rice is projected 6 wins in Vegas right now. That's their over-under. You know what you're at?
I don't think that's a push. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't
you're
think
at
that's
5.5, Tommy.
Yeah.
So you can't
now. You want to trade schedules with
Different
Rice?
level. Absolutely.
I think Arkansas would probably have a little higher over/under if you got to play Rice's schedule. But I'm not expecting that game to just be a walk in the park. Arkansas hadn't had any to speak of non-conference games that were just walks in the park because Arkansas is now looked at by the Rices of the world, and we've seen that in the Chad Morris area as, let's borrow again from Ruskin and Sack, gettable. Arkansas is. So you've got to go out and hopefully you can dominate, win that game by a few touchdowns, ease some anxieties around this fan base, and feel like you're on track to be prepared for Texas. You could play well against a good Texas team, though, and still not be within a few touchdowns.
Yeah.
But there's always just something magical in that series.
So Matt texted in, Tommy. He says he bought season tickets just for the Texas game, and he lives 900 miles away.
What's that game will do for you?
But we also had a text from Mountain Home that said he's going to watch it on TV instead of standing room only. So if it comes down to that, if they fill up the 76 actual seats, do you expect them to sell the other 4,000 standing room?
Well, will they make that available? I assume they will.
I think so.
And let as many people as they can physically get in there.
Well, it's like
you got the South Concourse, and you got good concourses around
plus
there.
the people that watch it. It's like what you keep coming back to. They're still, and I know that the SEC gave a surplus of $23 million to each school, but they are still, according to Hunter, at now $7 million because you were $30 million in deficit. You get the $23 million, so easy math tells you that's still a $7 million deficit. And I don't know. You talked about how much money they actually made, how much they cut away, stuff like that. But
when revenue goes away, so do expenses.
But you mentioned how, I mean, they still need to make that money back. You do that, and you take advantage of the selling opportunity in the Texas game.
The timing of the Texas game could not have come better for Hunter Yurachek and the foundation. From the tweet you just read from Matt, the text that came in, rather. He bought season. He's 900 miles away. I don't know if Matt will get to 2 or 3 or 4 games up there, but
he's coming to
the Texas game, and he bought season tickets for that very reason. And if you want to sit lower level between the 20s, you're going to give a pretty good donation for that right. So it's not just about the ticket sales, and I think it's $450 a seat plus your donation. It's you're trying to build back financially to what you were.
Now,
Tommy, we were speaking to how expensive the super regional tickets were going for. What do you think the resale value is going to be on those Texas tickets as we approach that coming up closer? I mean, it's going to be absurd, you would think, right?
I don't know. I mean, again, there's 80,000 of those. There were 10, 11,000 baseball tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference in supply as well.
Major difference. That is a good point. But I would think that the secondary market is still going to be pretty crazy.
You won't see someone trying to sell, and maybe trying. I don't think anyone's going to get thousands. And there's a $4,000 seat down the first base line. I don't know if they got that. Doubt they did. But
well, you weren't here when I told this story, Tommy. One of my buddies jokingly put up his tickets, his $15 tickets. Now, he paid a season donation and did stuff through the Razorback Foundation. He jokingly put them up for $600 a pop.
Got it. Good for him.
He, with no intent, he looked me dead in the eyes and said, Ty did that as a joke. And someone
How many do you
bought it.
have?
2.
So he took $30 and turned it into $1,200. I mean, I'd love to be at the game, but that's hard to pass up. Now, I gave our tickets away and I went to a game, but trust me, the thought, if you had tickets in your hand, the thought had to cross your mind in that super regional. I just don't know that the Texas game, because of where, you haven't been ranked number 1. You're not going to be ranked number 1. That fueled that.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas football is just not going to command that price. Certainly with 80,000. I know it's Arkansas, Texas, but I don't think you're going to see people paying $500 and $600 and $700, $800 or $1,000 or more for a ticket to that game.
Matt brings up another good point. I think you'll see a lot of super regional games as long as Dave Van Horn is your head baseball coach, but he's saying it'd be another 20 years before you see Texas come to town. There's not to my knowledge, there's not a conversation that Chris Delaconte and Hunter Yurchek are having on the table at the current moment about rescheduling this game. Remember, Delaconte's comments included Arkansas in this mix, that they want to schedule teams who are on the verge of winning/paying for a national championship. Well, right now, in its current state,
well, good thing you pay OU every year because they've won your conference 6 years in a row.
They keep
beating your butt.
So that's just a listen. That's
I don't like OU, but that's just. I can't deny facts.
So and Texas really hasn't competed for a national championship in quite. I think there was 1 year with Ellinger that they were close, but they couldn't get over the hump. The fullback that was playing quarterback for them, but. That's the game everyone's going to pay attention to. There's no question about it.
We've been talking about heading down to Boonville to eat lunch one day or just drive down and have dinner at Reed's Hometown Barbecue. I have not been there yet, and I want to try because every one of my buddies that have been there tell me it's worth the drive. The brisket, the pork, the chicken, their spare ribs, they hand select and then season with their homemade rub. They're right there that they make in-house. Slow smoked over hickory, oak, and pecan. Gives their meats a unique and original smoke flavor. If you like barbecue that's almost like a work of art, you're going to like Reed's Hometown Barbecue in Boonville, Arkansas. It's the best barbecue in the state. It's an awesome atmosphere. Just go to TripAdvisor in these places. These are the kind of comments you're going to get. Great service, hands down the best barbecue around at Reed's Hometown Barbecue in Boonville. I can't wait to try it. People drive from Fayetteville, Hot Springs, and all over to try Reed's because it's just that good. Reed's Hometown Barbecue in Boonville, open Thursday through Saturday, 11 till 9.
Let's welcome in Randy in Fort Smith. He wants to talk tickets this morning. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, I've ate at Reed's before. It's definitely top of the line. Don't know if I'd drive from Springdale, Fayetteville, but I'd drive from Fort Smith. It's worth the drive. But I was going to comment on the ticket prices. And I know the most I've ever had to pay was for Alabama, and I got in the south end zone, which is where I like to sit, right almost in the middle of the goalpost, and it was $380 each, and it was well worth it until Mallett threw a couple of bonehead interceptions. But that's the best crowd I would say I've ever seen. Hopefully the Texas one will be better because people are hungry from not being able to go to a football game. But I will tell you this, I've been going to games for a long time, and that Alabama game is the first time 30 minutes before the game, and it's Ryan Mallett's senior year, I guess it was 2010, and 30 minutes before the game, they did a hog call, and everybody in the stadium was doing it. And then when Wingo caught that wheel route for a touchdown, I've never heard Razorback Stadium ever, any football game, Little Rock or whatever, be that loud. And I expect Texas, first of all, I think we're going to beat them. And then I also expect Texas to even be just like that crowd or even better.
I think Gary Danielson and Vern Lundquist, who were calling it for CBS, Randy, were startled at the time when Wingo got that wheel route because that place just exploded. If you remember before, Jarius Wright caught a 20, 30-yard, like not curl, it was a slant route, or it was a longer slant route. I can't think of the route, what it's called at the current moment. But, I mean, that place, unfortunately, I wish I was there. And I was watching that game with my brother, and I didn't curse. Was it 2010? So that puts me as a 10th grader. I didn't curse when I was in 10th grade. I cursed during that game because of how that game concluded, unfortunately, as Ryan. And it wasn't, I mean, Ryan, yes, he threw the 2 interceptions, but you wouldn't have been in that game without Ryan Mount. And there were some other plays that you would have loved to have back that Coach Petrino and company and that team would have loved to get another shot in. But like I've said, now, I always
that opening script of plays, though, I mean,
it was unbelievable.
Perfectly executed right down the field. Boom.
Just, it was
but you know,
unbelievable.
That ticket was high. We were talking about tickets and the anticipation for the game and sellouts. That ticket was highly anticipated. I still think the most pre-game anticipated ticket was when USC came to town in 06. That was the hardest ticket I've ever seen to get prior to the game. There were nothing but fingers up out on the sidewalk. No tickets in the air. That game, and I remember talking with someone from the foundation that week who just shared with me that they were looking for someone that had a box to give it up because somebody from California was willing to pay $20,000, which would have at that time covered basically your year for their box for that one game. I mean, we did a ticket giveaway when Chuck was doing his show. We had 500 people show up and get a numbered ticket to win
that's insane.
A pair of tickets. I mean, it was insane that week leading up to that game.
Well, that's one important time what Arkansas football was, and you hope that what would be just great and ideal, I don't know if it's going to happen, is if they just beat the tar out of Rice in week 1.
Help.
And then that Texas game.
I just hope they win by at least one.
To win
based on the recent track record of non-conference games.
Against inferior opponents.
I'm not going to, I just want to win by 1.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait
because
for the football
that's been
season.
A challenge in recent years.
It's 75 days out for football season. Yep. Can't get here fast enough.
All right, SEC report coming up in a few minutes. We're brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. They help you finance farms, livestock, and homes, and also they help finance recreational land. They have a new loan product that makes financing all sizes of hunting tracks quick and easy. And they understand that hunting and fishing is a big part of what makes Arkansas great, and it's a big part of our life here in Arkansas. Most of their loan officers have agricultural business degrees, so they get what you do. They understand your background because they have a farming background. In fact, many of the employees at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas farm part-time themselves. So they understand when you're looking to finance large tracts of land, whether it's for farm, livestock, homes, or recreational, they can help you at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas with 60 branches to serve you.
Got some stuff to talk about coming up, including Tommy mentioned the SEC report, and then John Rahm wins the U.S. Open.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fitzman and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work. Hey, Tommy here. Want to take a minute minute to tell you about our friends at R-Track, I-40 at exit 58 in Clarksville. They've been around 17 years doing things right, providing great value to their customers with compact tractors and outdoor equipment to the Arkansas River Valley. See the full line of LS brand tractors with 22 to over 100 horsepower models available. Nearly all feature a front-end loader for maximum utility. It's all at R-Track, exit 58 off I-40 in Clarksville. That is R-Track in Clarksville.
Frankborough Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frankborough Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frankborough Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks off play action, pumps once, wants to go into the end zone, got a man, it's complete, touchdown Arkansas! Devion Warren was wide open, and the Razorbacks reclaim the lead.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
You had some SEC teams in Omaha this weekend that are continuing playing this weekend. You also had a certain someone from your Arkansas baseball team win the Dick Hauser Trophy and the Stop of the Year, and we'll get into that in your SEC update.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing, the SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC Update on the Morning Rush.
And the SEC Update is brought to you every day by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. They're now renting motorized and towable RVs, so if you'd like to try it out for a week or a weekend, they can take care of you with a RV, a fifth wheel, or a bumper pull RV for the, like I said, the week or the weekend. Maybe you want to try a larger size, a different style, slide outs. They've got all of that available for you to rent right now at Wheels RV. So see Lee, Jay, Chris, and the gang. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So Kevin Kopps wins the Dick Hauser Trophy. He also wins the Stopper of the Year. It's the Heisman Trophy equivalent of college baseball. Guys like Buster Posey, Steven Strasburg, Alex Gordon, Mark Teixeira, Robin Ventura. I mean, there are so many great players that have won the Dick Hauser Trophy. And now Kevin, Tommy's a part of that elite list, not only with them, but Andrew Benintendi as well.
You went over that list, and we read an extensive list earlier. All those guys had good major league careers too. So that's also the next thing we want to see from Kevin is, 3 years from now, whenever 2-3 seasons from now, he's pitching in the bigs.
So is he a setup guy? Phil would be the better person to ask about this, but when you look at what Kevin is projected in the Major League Baseball and kind of what he's going to be in the minors and then moving up, is that what he's anticipating of becoming? Is just that solid relief guy that can come in and give you an inning or two?
Here, and again, I would yield to Phil or somebody else, but it would probably depend on the staff you're on. Do you have the guy that can come in that you'd like to get the last 3 outs, maybe that throws it, right near 100 miles an hour, that maybe he's the guy in that bottom of the ninth, but Kevin's your guy for the 7th and 8th or 6th, 7th, and 8th, something along those lines. So, yeah, I mean, that might be the case, but he's certainly in the SEC, which is, in most experts' opinion, the equivalent of Double-A baseball. He was pretty dominant all year long of getting, top caliber hitters in college baseball out with that cutter that nobody could seem to figure out.
Got a message from Andrew Benintendi as well.
Kevin, what's up, man? This is Andrew Benintendi. Just wanted to congratulate you on winning the Dick Hauser Award. Very well deserved. You earned it. It was fun watching you throw the ball this year, and good luck the rest of the way. Go Hogs.
That's pretty cool that those guys are a part of that list. And with Kevin, you think about him, Andrew's kind of like the year before Andrew went off in 2015. I mean, he was a good player. And Kevin, he had a terrible – go back to last year and look at his stats. Now, it was just the turnaround he had was it's almost indescribable. I mean, you think about the Tommy John surgery in 2018, redshirt in 2016, just didn't even know if he was going to be invited back this next year to this baseball club.
Which was never really in doubt. If you listen to the Hog Pod he did with Bo, I mean, he talks about kind of figuring it out in the summer, even though the stats from his summer ball weren't overwhelming. That's when it mentally clicked for him.
He had a 5 ERA, and he was like, but I'm
pitching good. He knew what it's kind of like we just saw golf this weekend. A golfer knows when he's hitting it good. A pitcher knows when he's hitting his spots. And he's feeling it. Just sometimes the bat gets on the ball. Sometimes that happens. But he was talking about how he knew in the summer coming back for fall ball that he had it. And he had found the right stuff. But even then, he didn't start the year as the main closer. So the journey and the perseverance he's had to go through to get to this point is it's a good read. It's a good story to listen to, because there's a lot of people that would have given up. A lot of people that have moved on. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have stayed with it the way he did, and the reward was the kind of season we just got to all enjoy.
Other SEC notes, you had a couple teams in the Southeastern Conference participate this weekend in Omaha. Vandy went to wild one against Arizona on Saturday night in 12 innings where they ended in a walk-off. You had Mississippi State just pile drive Texas, 21 strikeouts for the Bulldogs. Texas lost 10. I know they're part of the SEC, but Texas lost. Tennessee lost 6-0 to Virginia. Who's the other SEC team? There's 4, right? Or is there just 3?
Yeah,
just 3?
Yep.
Okay, so those are the 3 teams.
Vandy, Mississippi State, and now you're making me forget Tennessee.
Yeah, so Tennessee plays Texas. That's another matchup. Vanderbilt.
And the earth open up.
Vanderbilt's going to
All of them
play
both.
NC State. That's going to be a very
Who are
intriguing
you rooting
matchup.
for in that one?
Well, I picked Vandy, but I'm rooting for NC State.
Yeah, I mean, you like to see them win.
I'm going, if there's a team I have to pick out of these remaining 8, and I know that as of today, someone's going to be eliminated, I'm taking NC State.
By tomorrow, they'll be down to 6.
Yeah,
so.
if I'm going to default, hey, Ty, pick a team, who are you going to root for, cheer for? Not necessarily pick and bet money on, but just say, you know what, if I had to pick someone, it would be NC State.
And whoever wins that game is one more win away from playing, not winning, but playing for the national title.
Other thing, Tom mentioned this earlier, NC State was very gracious in how they beat you. You had Coach Event saying, we didn't beat Kevin Kopps, we just outlasted or something to that vernacular. And that
respect.
You listen to those post-game press conferences, they were very respectful after being the number 1 team in the country, where they could have been very braggadocious and cocky. That's not what the Wolfpack did following their win.
All right, that's your SEC report here on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina this morning. Live music's back on the patio Tuesday nights and Saturday nights. If you'd like to have a cold one or your favorite cocktail and listen to some live local music, Joe's has it on Tuesdays and Saturdays. That also lines up with their dollar tacos, so you can get back and enjoy that. Great place to just kind of unwind after work or on the weekends. Certainly that. Speaking of the weekends, brunch, Saturdays, 10:45. They have a great brunch menu. We'll tell you more about that every weekend at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th across from Harps.
Coming up, we'll wrap it up with some U.S. Open talk, and we'll introduce our new guy, Drew Barrett, coming up on the Morning Rush.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
6 months with $29.99 due at signing. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N6-121.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be gel coat.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. They've carried the best brands in golf with the best pricing available. The Golf Nut has a great selection of demo clubs in stock. Titleist Vokey wedges have finally arrived. Stop in and get yours now while you can. The Golf Nut has a wide selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories. Everything you need for the everyday golfer. The driving range is open, or take advantage of the climate-controlled TrackMan simulation bays inside. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Woo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation, and I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4 grand more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4 grand more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry, we've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4 grand more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mallett might want it all on the first play again. To the corner. Oh, what a catch!
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Last segment here on a Morning Rush. We're going to tell you what happened in the U.S. Open last night. I know many of you got a chance to watch it. Jon Rahm gets it done. First Spaniard ever to win the U.S. Open. Did it dramatic fashion. 2 birdies on 17 and 18, and it was just really cool. It's also where he proposed to his wife, his now wife, back in 2018, I think is when it was. So a very special moment for him this weekend and a special moment for golf and how it concluded. And we'll talk about that and introduce our new guy, Drew, coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday, as always, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices: Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance, and a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Want to welcome in Ryan in Hot Springs first before we do that. Ryan, you got some stuff on the College World Series, man.
Yeah, I'm giving Texas a one-time pass because I don't hate the baseball team as bad as I do the football team, but I feel like Tennessee is the Ole Miss of the East in the SEC with the way they go about things and their daddy hat. So I'm giving Texas a one-time pass to go ahead and knock them out and just be done with that. And then whoever they face after that, I hope clobbers the crap out of Texas. And this whole Kopps stuff, his story kind of gives you hope for Connor. Next year, maybe he'll get it going and be back close to being that ace that he was his freshman season. And Tommy, congrats on your fish, man. That was a beauty.
Well, thank you for saying that. So yeah, that was that's pretty close to a fish of a lifetime right there.
Yeah,
if there's bigger ones, I hadn't caught them. So,
right.
If there's bigger ones, I haven't caught them.
Right. Well, I just want to tell you congrats on that. And I had service, so I pulled over and I'd make my call like I told you I'd call this morning. But hope y'all have a good day and go Hogs.
Appreciate the call, Ryan. So it was interesting to see Father's Day weekend. A couple of my buddies are fathers as of like the past year or two, and they're their Father's Day, it used to be just go visit their dad, whatever hometown they're in, but now they're just kind of sitting at home with the kiddo and the wife and just kind of lounging around and doing whatever.
Yeah, those first few years, I mean, depending on how, I mean, like your dad's 2.5 hours away, it's a production when kids are still in car seats, playpens, diaper bags. I mean, it's a organized feat in order to travel, more than 30 minutes with a child. So I get it. Well, it's just easier to stay home. Hey, Dad, how about I pay for your gas and you come see me?
Bring him breakfast and bread. I'm pretty sure. I'm forgetting which one of my buddies this was, but one time they tried to bring their dad breakfast and bread and they tripped over something on the floor and they spilled it on the bed. Oh man, to be a father, it's something that
I won't ever have to worry about breakfast in bed. No one in my house can get up that early. So.
Well, you have when pre-father before you ever actually had kids, because I was thinking about this. My middle stepsister she's gonna have a second daughter. Oldest stepsister, 2 older sons, and then a young little Margot. What did you want heading into marriage, like kids wise? So I want just like my dad had, 2 boys. I think nice and easy. Yeah. No daddies. Don't have to worry about daddy's little girl. I won't be able to say no. I'm just gonna be honest right now. So boys, it's easy. Shut up. No.
Yeah.
Can't do that with the girl.
I think every man wants a son. You always. I think it's just built in our DNA somewhere deep down. You may not admit it if you have 3 girls, and you'd never say it, but you want a son because you want your name and your legacy to live on, right? You want that family name to continue. So I think that's buried within all of us, whether we admit it or not. If you have a son, it's easy to say. If you haven't had one, you'd never say it. But I think everybody, at least, if you have 2 or 3 kids, you want one of them to be your boy.
Did you try and convince Laura to go with Tommy Kraft Jr., or was there ever
that wasn't even a conversation? I'm kind of the third one of that line. I didn't have the same middle name as my grandfather and my dad, but there were 3 Tommy Krafts. Once upon a time, probably 4 didn't need to happen. So no, that was never even really a conversation.
I thought about Tyler because my real name is just Ty, and Tyler's a little different.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run through these names, and you tell me what you think of these.
He thinks he has some input on this.
Yeah. Well,
don't you kind of need a woman first before you can start planning out baby names?
This cart is many miles in front of the horse. But go ahead.
Ready. Just start Cal.
Cal?
Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay.
Cal.
Do Calvin at least, and then
shorten Calvin.
No.
Calvin will never survive grade school.
Yeah. Fletch.
No. Thumbs down. No.
Murph.
No.
Clark.
No.
Dawson.
Yes.
No. Dawson.
Yes, I'd go with Dawson.
Okay.
Yes.
Dallas. A lot of good times in Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
Griff.
Next.
A lot of these names almost sounds like they're more for dogs than people.
Sounds like something you've Googled rather than you really thought about.
No, just occasionally like a television show or movie, or I'll hear it. Cappy.
Nope.
Casey.
Okay.
Buck.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Buck. Flynn.
That's different.
Cade.
Different.
Here's back to Flynn. Flynn with an I or Flynn with a Y?
Flynn.
Okay.
Y, yes, I know.
Okay. Archie.
I'm not an Ole Miss guy.
Okay.
No.
Tuck.
Short for Tucker? Or
just Tuck.
Just Tuck.
Crosby Tuck played football at Arkansas. He's a wide receiver.
Bud.
Light.
Kale.
Nope. Not going to.
Chase.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Cross.
All right.
Arch.
Are these ones you've given thought to, or are you just Googling names?
No,
here?
I've got a list now.
You've actually made a list. This is an extensive list.
Liam.
No.
Tag.
No.
Not Tag. Okay. Harlan.
I get with that.
Nash.
Yeah.
Okay. So you like Nash, you like Buck, you like Dallas.
Yeah.
Basically country type of things. and you like Bud.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically like country or
So is
beer
this like second date or third date material you have here?
I just
find it funny you actually think you'll get input on the name.
Well, I've had conversations with both my brother-in-laws about this, just kind of how it went down, and like you said, it went down that they didn't have any say in the matter.
You'll get asked, but your opinion won't really matter.
Well, here's my thing. If I at least have a list of like 30 or so by the time this happens in 5 or 6 years, then I can at least present like an idea of, hey, can you just pick from one of these so I can have a little say?
Oh.
Just one.
Oh, to be so wide-eyed and
name? Is there a family name
naive.
that gets passed down that you use?
There's not a family name, but or I can just when he assumed,
Well, I mean, listen, here's the other thing you got to consider.
Okay.
And this is one conversation my wife and I had. You've got to consider the radio name. So it's got to have a good role to it because, I mean,
Bud Richardson.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have something that is this going to make a good radio name as well.
Tanner Tupelo says he's tried to submit Baumwalker Stall or Charlie Razorback Stall. That's a fantastic text.
Let me know how that goes there, Tanner.
It goes okay. So, this is the part, I guess. So,
I mean, you could Dave Van Richardson. How about there you go.
Drew, did you have Brandon Parrish is wondering if you had a nickname. So we had a unique situation on halftime when it was Matt and Matty T. So Phil and Matt and Matty T felt like they had to give Matt a nickname and
to distinguish between the two. We had
two
two Matts.
Yeah, they landed on SmackDown. Now, Drew, we don't have another Drew working here, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But did you have a nickname growing up or college nickname? Or
No, I've never had a nickname just because Drew is so short. I mean, obviously, Drew is short for Andrew, but it's nothing you can really play on with Drew. It's just it's just Drew, and I've never had a nickname outside of that, and I don't know if I really would want one. I mean, maybe if it was an enduring type of nickname, if the listeners came up with it, maybe. But to have it be forced, I'm a little iffy about.
So what do you do outside of sports radio? I know you hunt, fish, golf. It's kind of various activities, various hobbies here and there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you just said, I love to hunt and fish. Grew up in rural Tennessee, about 45 minutes east of Memphis. Love playing golf. Not going to try to oversell my golf game. I always like to say I'm definitely not the best you've ever seen, but hopefully I'm not the worst.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you some wiggle room. That way, if you shoot bad, you can be like, well, at least I wasn't the worst you've ever seen.
He's just trying to get the bets right.
Exactly. Lower the bar, the more you can jump it. So that's how I like to think about my golf game.
Sandbagging all of us right now.
Love
trying to get two aside.
Just basically doing anything outdoors. And I'm a drinker. I would be lying if I said I didn't. I like my Budweiser's cold and my bourbon's neat. So if you ever see me out and about, it won't be pretty hard. It'd be pretty easy to spot me because I don't have a lot of red clothing like a lot of people
we'll
in
work
the
on
area.
That. Yeah.
It's a lot of Memphis blue. So I'll stand out pretty well to start.
We'll work on your wardrobe coming up. So. Well, we're glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
He was here kind of in the background with us last week, and you probably heard a little bit, but you'll be hearing from Drew every day, not only on the morning rush, but more so on halftime. As today, you and Phil and Matty T start a new adventure together. So,
did you hear what Phil did with him?
No.
When he was still working with stats, his last show, Phil said, "All right, this is your final interview." So he messed with them like we told him he had the job, but he didn't think he still had the job at that point because Phil was screwing with him.
Wait a minute.
Phil will actually be in studio these next 2 days, so really excited to have the voice of Razorback baseball here with us these next couple of days. Kind of get ready for what's to come with what's moving forward on halftime. I know that Drew's going to do a really good job. Because his old boss really stuck his neck out from our guy's stats. It gave him lavish reviews and a lot of good credits. We're excited to have Drew part of our team here at ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. Also excited to have a full set of shows this week, kind of gearing up towards as we're continuing to talk College World Series. I know we just talked a little U.S. Open, but getting closer to football season. We're 75 days out from the opening game between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Rice Owls, right? So I want to make sure 2 Southwest Conference opponents to kick off the season. Kind of a storyline that's been put on the rug a little bit, but man, I'm telling you what, I as we're talking, got people their juices flowing this morning talking about that Texas game, and Matt's going to drive or fly 900 miles in order to make the appearance for that one, Tom.
Well, I think that we're going to have a lot of conversation leading up over the summer about that Texas game. I mean, a lot of old players we'll talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have Ken Hatfield on at some point, who coached and played against Texas. So
Bill Montgomery's already told me he will come on that week. I think we're going to try and get John Reese on. You mentioned Coach Hatfield. We'll have a loaded week for Texas, Arkansas, and some games. Hopefully Quinn Grovey will take some time to join us. Maybe Quinn's coach softball or something I don't know about for
he
his
could coach
kids.
anything he wanted to, I bet.
He can do it. So, but a good Monday edition, good start to the week. For Drew Barrett, Tommy Kraft, I am Ty Richardson. Halftime today, first show, inaugural show with Drew, Matty T, and Phil, 11 to 1, and then Ruskin and Zach from 3 to 7. Hey, don't spend the rest of the day sitting in your hands. We will talk tomorrow.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can